realized my own shortcomings because of his incredible nature. The world is a strange place where old men eat mushrooms and turn into weird things. Zartlam's assassin, brother, whatever he is, hasn't shown up since we found out about his existence. Um, the grasping trouser snakes are a weird secret society who take shelter from the law by being incredibly obvious about where they are and then hiding in barrels.
Yeah, well, crates, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, crates. And we've tracked down where the old guys go after they turn into mushrooms, I think.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Good. 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 Good take. So, you reach this opening room within the depths of this sewer system. Seems to be some sort of I don't know what you would call it, maintenance area or storage, lower storage area within the sewer system. And you see these five almost like cocoon type pods that are made from this same glowing red, like fungusy material. On the ground, you see a series of personal effects, whether that be scattered coin, clothes, and uh, additional items that you can't quite figure out just at a glance. Go ahead and, as you're looking around the room, if you do an investigation check for me, whoever wants to investigate the area.
I would like to try to do that.
Yeah, sure. Wonderful. Wow. With a 23, Fizzle, you do notice that one of the pods seems to be intact.
Oi, oi, oi! That thing is still not popped.
I know, but let's not squeeze that pimple just yet. I walk up to the remains of the other pod.
Hmm. The material is kind of like inside it's gooey and damp, but any kind of residue from the outside of it being burst open is kind of dry and crusty.
So it's not fresh.
I check the belongings underneath.
Yeah. So the first sort of pile of personal effects you come across, there's a series of common clothes there that seem to be in relatively decent wear for common items. You do come across 7 gold pieces and 4 silver pieces. There is a sling with 10 marble-like bullets.
Interesting.
There's a series of dried berries, and a map of the city of Delmary. You also come across like a torn bit of card with a partial print of the Red Clam's logo as well within this first pile.
Aha!
Very cool.
And additionally, there's a red bandana.
Uh-huh. That's the belongings of all the.
Of that first sort of pile you come across, yeah.
All right. And the next pile?
The other piles you come across. So collectively, is while you spend time in this room, the second pile you come across there are 59 gold pieces. There's
Oh,
a bottle of honey.
Interesting.
There's a singular minor healing potion.
Dang.
healing potion.
Mhm. And
And
there
that's
seems to be a string, like a necklace of wooden beads.
necklace of wooden beads. Oh my. Let's not uh, speculate.
So, as you continue further and check the final pile, there's one set of fine clothes that seem to be in relatively good tact, apart from one of the arms is kind of frayed and ripped. But that's easy enough for a seamstress to resolve. There's an onion.
Well, yeah, of course.
Why the fuck not?
One flask of oil.
For the hair or for something else?
It's hard to tell. It's in a clear container.
All right.
There are some lacy undergarments,
Uh-huh.
Nice.
and there is a golden yellow topaz.
Whoa.
Topaz.
We're all seeing this like
And
shit,
and the final bit of paper you come across is of a shopping list, but it's
A shopping
yep.
list.
What
Kasogi.
languages do you speak?
I speak every language.
I speak Draconic, Celestial, and Common.
Okay, you don't quite as you're the one investigating this part. You see this list, but you can't understand the handwriting.
Mind if I
Aha.
take a look at it?
Fizzle, read this elven script. It is clearly um, Tiffany's
Let me-
grandfather.
Okay. Let me take a
I,
look at
I
that.
am. I am actually here now. Sorry for the.
No worries, it's all right. It's fine.
haven't missed it.
As you read it, you see at the top it says coloured chalks,
Uh-huh.
apple, bunch of apples. Says meals for one,
This is shopping list. This.
and burlap sack.
Okay. Interesting.
Sensible individual.
I read this out loud.
Sure, no worries.
I may not know quite as much about how things work in this world, but are the common folk usually able to afford things like those fancy underclothes and that gem and that potion?
No, but we do know several people are missing, so it could be one of them could have afforded it.
My point is that whatever this is may be targeting the more well-off for some reason.
You mean like old people who have accumulated wealth?
Oh, let's
Perchance.
look around before we speculate. I mean, the first one was a bunch of silver, so it's not
Anything left of the? That's all.
In the personal effects, that's kind of majority of it. Sorry, the additional last pile, coin wise, was 74 silver pieces.
These are some fine clothes. How many silver?
74.
Yeah.
All right, 74 silver. That's a lot of silver.
Indeed.
Okay.
The one that concerns me, however, is the last pod. We should probably take a look at that one.
Yes, Ronan, you are an agile fellow and fairly perceptive. Why don't we step over here, and you step over there, and look at the pod?
I follow as ordered.
So you step in front of the pod and look at it.
Yeah. Do let's have an investigation check.
I would like to prep my daily use of the jump spell from a distance so that I can leap in if something does come out of that.
Yeah, no worries.
Is anybody helping me investigate the pod?
Probably best if I help out. Perhaps I would have some knowledge.
Roland, are you game for a little bit of evasive action?
I don't think it's gonna explode.
I'm not so sure.
I just want to. Is it so no one's aiding me to give me advantage?
Yeah, no one's doing that.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
do that.
I
I'm not
can
afraid.
investigate.
Well, I'm talking about perception, but okay.
But the investigation
I mean,
was cool.
in investigation, you see this strange, like rubbery, fungus-like texture to the outside of this pod, and as you kind of look a little bit closer, you can see that it's almost like see-through at a certain area,
Interesting.
to the point where your curiosity gets the better of you, and you kind of brush over this rubbered surface, and as you do, you kind of wipe away almost like a top layer of like dust, and you can see an elven looking elderly gentleman within.
Does he look like the man in the poster?
Go
Well-
ahead and roll an intelligence check while you're looking at
No,
the picture.
it is impossible. It cannot be him. He is not wearing the lacy undergarments.
What are you thinking about?
Go ahead and roll an artistic interpretation check.
That'll be a dirty 20.
Yeah, you would consider a very good likeness to this individual.
Oh my god, Tiffany's an artist.
You know what? This is the exact image of the man in that poster the child gave you.
I wouldn't be remiss to remind you that these pods seem to have shattered and exploded in some fashion. But we must extract this man for Jan Tiffany so that her grandfather might be returned to her alive.
How is this pot connected to the ground, the ceiling? Or the
It's
wall?
it's like rooted onto the wall. So there's like a lower thick stem, almost like a tree trunk, that kind of is rooted itself. And
Does it resemble like a mushroom pod of some sort?
Yeah, it literally does look like a mushroom pod.
Can I do like a medicine check to see if he's still alive or?
Yeah, go ahead, sure.
I was gonna suggest that.
Sartland's gonna walk up and raise his two-handed sword to cut through the stalk if no one stops him.
I wouldn't be so hasty if I were you. We're probably gonna do that, but not just yet.
He seems alive.
Does he look well?
As far as you're concerned, yeah, sure.
Is anyone good at tracking? Could you check for tracks?
I mean, we have been tracking all over this place.
True, but maybe there is tracks from something not so human. Oid.
Could I do like a survival check to see if I can see anything?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, survival, I guess. Yeah.
Nope.
I mean, it's hard to distinguish tracks in this kind of environment. I mean, unless it was leaving a wet kind of footprint, this stone would probably dry up any visible tracks after a period of time.
So, what you guys think? Should we cut him from the base or open the actual pod? Any suggestions?
I'm not entirely sure if that's appropriate. Don't you have acids?
I do. I can do that, but still.
Well, me and Zartlam could cut this man out. That's easy enough.
Zartland is literally standing there with his sword raised, waiting for you guys to finish whatever you're doing.
Oh, we might. Well, let's just do that. The two of you will
Okay,
probably
so
have the
first
best.
things first. This is the pod.
We're
Oh,
not
sorry,
there.
sorry, you're not there at all.
Now we're on Walden screen.
Let me.
Does he seem connected to any part of this pod, or is it just fluids?
It's like he's contained within the pod. It's hard to tell if there's any fluid within. You would consider from the others that it's likely that there may be fluid, but it's hard to tell.
This man must be half elven, not fully elf.
What concerns me is we only see the blasted this room.
So if you want to position yourselves where you would be at this stage.
I'm standing nearby in case I need to.
Really, I think
Heal.
delicate hands would be better here. Someone with dexterous, agile.
I don't think you can cut him out with your dexterous fingers.
Well, let's just rip this thing apart then.
I'll bring my sword down.
Try not to kill him.
Yeah.
Ronan pulls out a scalpel. He's got hiding in his back pocket.
Yeah. So me and Zartlam cut this thing off the walls.
Okay,
Off the wall.
sure.
wall.
Go ahead and.
I'm going to ready my bow and arrow just in case he is.
You realize this thing is gonna explode on us, right?
That's why I'm moving backwards and readying my bow in case he is aggressive in any sort of way.
Okay.
Why do you think I was volunteering to do it? Because I'm the tank.
I'm just sitting here.
I mean, Cavell helping me is one thing, but the rest of you guys move back.
So are you using your hands or your weapons?
I am trying to cut the stem that connects him to the
No
wall.
worries.
Connects it to the wall.
Go ahead and just do a standard
A standard what?
a survival check.
Oh god.
Survival.
Oh god.
I thought this was gonna be like a weapon attack or an athletics check.
Just yeah.
Who's good at survival? Roland?
Well, I already said I was doing this, so
Yeah. said
Can
it.
I give you advantage?
So you kind of lapsy daisy kind of just like start cutting away, and like it starts to like rock and shake like as you're cutting away at it, and as you like cut the stem like completely as if to like bring it down, it just stays there in midair and it's like that didn't work. You can try again if you like.
so it's now floating in midair.
Yeah, it's like there as you kind of like have been cutting the root to sort of pull it away from the wall. You can notice that some of it's almost like webbed attached to like portions of the wall.
I wanna just open the damn thing.
Out of sheer stubbornness, Zartlam is going to spend his time cutting through that webbed portion while the others do whatever they're doing.
Okay. Yeah, so you take a little while and you do kind of like almost have to saw away. It's relatively thick, strong material for what it is, and as you kind of cut away through it,
I am.
It kind of starts. You can hear the twanging of like the webbing like coming loose. So it's like twang, 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 and you can see it moving like lower and lower forward, and then it just hits the ground. And as it hits the ground, you can hear like a cracking noise begin.
Okay.
Run! And I jump in front of Fizzle.
Oi! We could just move away if we have time, you know. I suggest you move away. Zartlam.
Rolling his eyes, Zartlam will move back, not in a particular hurry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saving you, Fizzle. And I
I'm-
grab Fizzle and I run behind this
What?
pillar.
Stop push that.
Okay.
God,
So
I'm
As if a
fine.
mere mushroom could ever be a threat, a real threat.
The cracking sound proceeds, and finally it kind of almost comes to a pause, and then it goes like a really loud crack, and you hear a shriek come from within this sort of innards,
Interesting.
and it echoes through this room, and you can see the elven figure from inside Zartland begin to like breathe and gasp, but this noise isn't coming from him. It's coming from like the contents of this pod.
Interesting.
And as it echoes from the room, you start to hear this like fluid, like slippery sound, like
Something moving.
Oh, gross.
I need Circaval and Fizzle to make dexterity saving throws, please.
What? We're behind the pillar.
Something
Yeah, it doesn't
specific.
help you when a gelatinous cube goes on it.
Oh god.
That's a 6.
It always amuses me when the reckless character is the one that somehow avoids danger, and the cautious character is the ones that walk right into it.
So
I was forced into.
off of the ceiling, this like ooze begins to drop and splash on top of you and Kaval. Kaval, you see it dropping, and you sort of barrel roll out of the way, which means you'd probably be roughly there. For you though, Fizzle.
Bloody hell.
Let me see. Where is he? I can't remember which one it is now.
I'm just imagining Cavell like, haha, my trained instincts have. Oh shoot, I let go of the goblet.
That was what I was That was what I was curious about, whether or not I could instead, with my natural 20, save Fizzle.
No.
Perhaps give him
sorry.
advantage.
I am stuck in a goddamn blob thanks to you
So-
pushing me there. Thank you, Cavell! I say that from inside the blasted thing. Or attempt to.
And I'm ready to release my readied arrow.
To be fair, you were aiming that at the pod, not at this thing.
I would prefer to not be shot in the nose by an arrow. Thank
I was
you.
just ready in general. I knew something was gonna happen.
You take-
Everybody knew something was gonna
I mean,
happen.
we were all ready, so it doesn't really matter.
6. You do take a 5 acid damage as this
Ouch,
thing
ouch,
just
ouch.
falls on you, and you like your clothing begins to fizz
yeah, that's cool, man.
and sort of
Make
this
noise.
goo is now on your clothing. Additionally, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
Fortunately, it's
Followed by an
relatively low.
Is by any chance is this a magic one?
No.
Constitution 7 throw, you say?
Yep. A DC 11, so it's relatively low for now.
That's a 10.
Oh.
I am now diseased.
So, okay, fine. Good to know.
Not a part of an aberrant, is it?
Additionally, it does, as it hits the ground, you see like these almost balls of like its form. It almost looks like it's got 2 heads.
Ugh.
I will need you all to roll initiative.
Bloody hell.
So I had my bow ready. Would I get?
Was you holding your action?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like when they attacked the thing. I mentioned that I was holding my bow ready in case of. Well, it was in
If-
case the
if-
man got aggressive.
Yeah. I would say as you was focused on the pod, I would say no.
Oh, there is no initiative counter though. I just noticed.
Don't worry, he'll bring it up in a moment.
Yep, so it should be up now.
No, you removed my turn.
Oh, sorry.
You removed my turn as well.
6.12.
Hadouken.
I guess I have to re-roll.
Holy cow, am I going first?
You can change your initiative manually in your token skills.
Nope, looks like Roland beat me out.
Yep.
I got a 16.
There we go. There's some better numbers.
I don't remember which one it is because I've got two of these things that look very, very similar
Hold on.
my sheet, and I don't know which one's which.
Hold on. Wait, wait.
Five.
Let me do this.
So
I should be there now.
Then you can just click it and change it.
Yeah.
It's the Eka. Okay,
There we go.
okay. Luckily for you, it didn't roll very well. Okay. Seeing this horrible ooze drop from the ceiling, Roland, it's your turn.
I will attempt to shoot it.
Okay.
I will attempt to shoot it sharpshooter. Just for that extra damage. Does a 13 hit.
A 13 does it.
It takes 29 damage.
No. Okay.
Because Fizzle's next to it, so it's
Not me, but Cavell rather. I'm not really threatening it.
I just have to have an ally within 5 feet to sneak attack.
There's a person there. It doesn't matter who it is.
Sure.
Pretty much what I was thinking. Fizzle's like the closest. So
I would like to not take damage in the nose by the bloody arrow. Thank you.
Natural 1. Oh no.
I shoot Fizzle instead. No.
Okay.
That would pretty much knock me unconscious.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. Fizzle.
What would it take for me to get out?
A strength saving throw.
Oh shit. This one then though. Help? Can this one then though. Oh, it's 18, not
Yeah.
too bad.
Yeah, you make the DC. That's fine.
I would like to
Yeah.
pop out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that my action?
That's your main action. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna make a potion of Swift Step this turn. With my bonus action. And can't really move away.
I hate oozes.
Okay, and that's my turn because I can't really move away right now.
Okay. Zartlam.
Well, Zartlam still has his sword out, so he's just going to come over and take a couple swings at this. Do I have advantage for flanking with Cavell, or does this thing
Yeah,
not
you'll
seem to
be
be affected
fine.
by that?
You'll be fine.
I ask and then immediately avoid rolling at advantage, so let me double check for a crit, but I'm pretty sure that...
Come on, 20. Nope.
That's slashing damage as well, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Good to know.
Oof, does the 11 hit?
It hits. Yeah.
Alright. And this is the non-magical weapon.
Okay. Yeah.
Ooh, I get to reroll some dice there. Oh, well, one die there.
Oh, hey, much better.
So that's 12 on both hits.
Yeah.
No, 24.
Jolly good show.
You slash at this jellified form. Your blade cuts through, and you see the trail of where your blade was, and you can see the jelly like resealing after your blade passes through.
Does it seem at least pained by it, or does it seem completely unaffected?
It doesn't even respond.
Oh god. Basically,
Good to
just moved it aside.
It responded to my arrow, at the very least.
Did it now?
Well, that sounds horrible. That's your turn, Hardlam? Or are you gonna smite it
Question.
as well?
I would have. I assume I would have had to say that already.
Yeah, true.
But Fizzle's clothes were kind of hissing when he was inside this thing. Does my sword seem affected at all?
No, it seemed to be passed through quick enough that any residual leftovers kind of left the blade at this stage.
Right. In frustration, we'll use his bonus action to summon a spiritual weapon.
Okay.
And smack it.
Thunk.
Summon it just over Cabell's head, so it's still flanking with. So it's now flanking with me.
Okay.
Does spiritual weapon get advantage?
Spiritual weapon can get advantage, but it does not give advantage.
Aha. Like, that's cool. Somewhat. So,
Yeah, that'll hit.
And this one is force damage.
Yep.
smack.
And it's magical.
Nice. Yep. Okay. Good to know.
It looks like another great sword, but it does not deal slashing damage.
Yeah, it does seem to like flinch and retract after being hit with this weapon.
All right.
That's it for my turn.
Okay, Ronin.
I'm gonna move myself behind it and take 2 swings with my quarterstaff, Chesterfall.
Okay.
Yeah, your magical corpse.
Yeah.
Everyone has a
Hits.
magic weapon.
I don't.
Misses, and that's a crit
Misses.
failure.
Because I'm
17 hits.
sorry, because I'm flanking. Do I have advantage?
You do have advantage, yeah.
Okay.
2 more times. Not 20.
That's better.
Cool. Okay, so
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
Good count.
good, nice.
Bloody hell.
I don't have a magic sword. I wish I had a magic sword, but I don't.
So, now the strange sewer jelly, like whipping its head, kind of deciding which one of you is going to be its prey. It does take a attack at you, Fizzle, because it's had a taste of you.
Bloody hell. I'm like target numero uno all the time. Like, leave the little creature alone. Bloody
That's what you get for being the least intimidating as a goblin.
Does a 13 hit?
No, 13 does
No.
not.
Does a 15 hit?
Nope, 13 does not.
Well-
15 does not.
15 doesn't hit either. So you see these two heads kind of whip around one after the other. Fortunately for you, missing. Okay, Sir Cavall again.
Okay, Sir Cavell grabs a javelin from his pack and is just like, ha! Behold my spear.
Yep, 12 will
with
hit.
Advantage. 12 will hit. 7 damage.
Piercing damage, yep, that's fine.
Yep. And do I want to do that? Yeah, I'll just inflict it with the Unwavering Mark. So it's got disadvantage to attack anyone else.
Okay.
So you hear Sir Cavell say something like, I hate oozes. You're terrible. Get everywhere. And that's his turn.
Okay.
Roland.
I'm going to try and shoot it again.
Yeah, go ahead. You can see, by the way,
Great with
to...
sharpshooter.
Well, it doesn't double the damage for the 10.
No, but sneak attack got doubled.
You roll
So
2 ones.
16 plus 17, so 22.
Yeah,
5 damage.
that's enough. So as your arrows split into this jelly form, it kind of begins to shake frantically, and like it's almost like its whole form is vibrating, and you can see this translucent like ichor begin to harden and turn, and it starts to become like the same color red as these pods that are surrounding you. And I need all of you, apart from Roland, to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh
Because
shit!
I'm not right next to it.
Why am I not level 6 yet?
Hey, 19!
Okay.
That was me, not you.
All
Oh,
of
wait,
you,
it's
apart
what?
from Sir Caval and Ronin, as this form vibrates and begins to appear to turn to this red color and harden, it explodes, and this mist and powder fills the air. I need both you and Ronin and Sir Caval to make Constitution saving throws, please.
Ooh.
Look, it's man
Okay.
again.
Good.
Daddy, say hi.
Oh. Oh, sorry. Was that a dex saving throw? Dex.
Constitution. Yeah. Saving throw was Dex.
Oh, that should have been 17.
Ooh.
No, it shouldn't. It should have been 18.
Oh, in that case, forget the Constitution saving throw.
Sorry.
I like to think for the dex save, rather than dodging out of the way, Zartlim just kind of tucks into his armor like a turtle.
That would be hilarious.
Gives like, oh no.
Okay.
Cursed mushroom goddess.
Yeah, this kind of red powder is now in this like forms kind of vicinity, kind of surrounds where this ichor was.
I have a very important question when I can ask it.
Daddy, look, it's a doggy.
I'm like, good fight. I think I overdid it there with that shot, but okay.
How much damage did I take?
There wasn't any damage, I'll say.
I
It was
have-
just this powder that was in the air. So kind of, it was like you went to jump out the way, and instead you just gasped at like the shock that this thing become hard and exploded into this powder.
Oh god.
Huh.
Do I feel any different?
Currently, you feel fine.
Oh god.
Currently.
Oh god. Bloody hell.
Ugh, I hate oozes. They're
I-
slimy and rough.
When I notice the powder and whatnot, I rip off a piece of my shirt, dap it in some water, and put it over my face.
I thought you already had like a thing.
Yeah, so did I.
Now I'm imagining Roland with not one but two pieces of cloth over their face.
Okay.
Double
Well,
security.
the other one dried off already, so you know how to redo it.
I'm not gonna question it. I'm just gonna check for the elven grandpa guy.
Okay, yeah. He kind of he's like opening his mouth, and you can hear like just the whispered gasps, and his eyes. You can see he's trying to open his eyes, and his hands are still currently restrained by the innards of this pod, and he's trying to open his eyes, but it seems like they're almost like full of like this gunk, preventing him from opening his eyes.
So
Can we give him the healing potion?
what? Are you Crazy.
I have. Hold on, I have a healing potion that I can give him.
Yeah, let the goblin.
I'm
Wait.
just waiting for him to. I throw exploding potion around the corner.
God.
What was I saying?
So you're gonna make a potion?
I
I
was just
swear to
waiting for the
God, if
person
you throw it at
to
me,
wake up.
you're gonna get shot.
Unadvisable. Yeah, I'm just waiting for. I was just waiting for the person to wake up so we can actually, communicate with.
I mean, he
Zartlan's-
seems awake. It's just that he's like gasping and
All right, good.
like trying to
shall
open his eyes. In
Take a
he's
few
currently
moments then.
restrained by this pod. But if you're gonna try and free him,
Do
then
this. There we go.
Zartlan's gonna work on freeing him.
okay. It takes
Here,
you a
drink
little
this.
while, and this residue is really sticky, and it smells terribly like the same fishy substance that you guys have been familiar with killing the other sort of fungus type things that you killed previously.
Can I take some samples from the pod and the big creature?
Yeah, medicine check. Or you can kind of probably gather a few bits and pieces.
A couple of vials, basically, one of
Yeah.
each.
Yeah.
Where is bloody medicine? I'm not very good at medicine.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
20.
You managed to fill two tubes of this kind of
Bag of holding.
sticky ichor, red fishy substance.
Yeah, I'll take a handkerchief or something and start wiping off his face and stuff.
Yeah, no worries. Kind of
And
brings.
I'm just keeping watch over here, making sure nothing else comes
No
up.
worries. Sure. You will need to roll a perception check for me.
Everyone?
No, just Roland, as you said, is keeping a watch out.
Oh,
For you guys that are currently free, this elderly elven individual kind of opens his eyes and is clearly hasn't seen light in a few days, and kind of just looks around, assessing everyone.
Are you Charlie Saborni?
And again, he's just like gasping whispered air at this stage.
like,
And he's now his arms are like free. He's kind of grabbing at the at his lower jaw and still gasping.
oh no. Oh no. Out of character, I may know what's happening.
You're feeding him the healing drops?
I assume I did so far.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at him, he looks like a regular elven old man. He's still quite wrinkly, and he's majority of his body, other than what you've wiped off, is like covered in this ichor. But he's probably been in this pod for a little while now.
Yeah. I dump some water across his face and I try to help him.
He
get
kind of
better.
like laps and sees like you bring your water skin closer. He kind of like opens his mouth and like all frantically trying to get to the water, is like dousing
Can
himself to drink.
Do an intelligence check, just in case there's like something out of the ordinary with
Yeah,
this
sure, go ahead.
Because like I'm concerned.
After drinking some of this water, he kind of his throat becomes a bit clearer, and he says, "Yes, I am. Who are you? Where am I?"
We're the Legion. We just arrived to Dalmary Town and we've been exploring the sewers looking for you on behest of tiny elf girl Tiffany.
My granddaughter. Where is she?
Yes. Could you tell us, like, what you remember of everything?
I remember leaving Tiffany's house and remember going to the stores, and I was hungry, so I went to the new crab shack. It was very lovely and everything was fine. I walked through the town and suddenly I had a sharp pain in my stomach and then nothing. Darkness.
We're on to something. It's that shack place. They're doing it again.
Aha! And like Sir Cavell puts up a hand with like a finger pointing up in the sky, and his other hand is like touching his nose, and he says, "Evidence."
Well, now we have
So-
an eyewitness that we can bring to the guards that would help us clear our name and make them
there's-
investigate the shack.
So there's there's these seafood-smelling mushroom creatures, and people seem to who went to go eat at the seafood place ended up with these mushroom creatures. Clearly, we should investigate the mushroom vendor.
Well, I did grab some. I could do some tests on it when we back up.
Where would you go to investigate these mushroom creatures, Sartlam?
Well, surely there's someone in town who sells mushrooms.
Oi, hello? You're looking at. Hold on. Am I muted?
No,
This
you're
would
not.
explain-
Zartlam has an intelligence score of 10. He's not the brightest bulb in the box.
Alright,
Average, but not exactly a prime investigator.
alright. Let me explain that. I can tell you what they are. I just need a better location than a sewer to deal with that.
Well, where those grates were, there were a couple of mushroom people.
Mr. Charlie Subordinate, never eat clams again.
You think the clams did this to me?
I don't know, but until we are sure what's happened,
What's your
we can
passive
assume-
perception there, Cavell?
My passive perception is 13.
You would notice as you pick him out there's a singular barnacle on his shoulder.
What?
What?
Like attached to his shoulder. There's a single barnacle.
Barnacle? What
Like
the
a almost like a shell like barnacle type thing.
You are growing barnacles, Mr. Sporty, and I
Ugh.
touch the thing.
Ugh.
Get it off. Get it. And he kind of tries to brush it off and pull it off, and it's almost like it's pulling really hard at his skin.
Oh,
Can Zartlam reach over, pull out his silver blade, and just cut it off?
Ooh.
As you pull out your blade, he kind of sees your blade and like stumbles backwards, falls over.
You know, most people would panic when they see someone doing that. Just saying.
He said he wanted it off.
Yeah,
Charlie, let's not overreact here. You are living proof that the lobster place is doing something terrible. You need to go see the guards, and then maybe a healer, and get it safely.
could I take a look at that barnacle?
Go ahead, yeah.
Do I do a nature check or something?
You can do a nature check as it is something of the sea.
It is a thing of the sea.
18.
Yeah, it's a barnacle. It's not like a barnacle that you've come across
Not a cursed barnacle, is it?
near any sort of bays or seasides or anything like that. Or
I grab
coastlines.
one of my daggers and I say, give me just a second, and I'm gonna attempt to
What the?
pry it off.
You want to try and pry it off.
Yeah,
Okay, you need to make
did-
another
you did succeed.
medicine check.
sure.
Does he get advantage for succeeding on the nature?
I've got 3 in medicine. Can I help you? I've got to check.
You could assist each other, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Should I roll with advantage then?
Yeah, sure. Or while one of you holds the barnacle still and one of you carefully takes your blade,
Terrible.
as you take the blade, you plunge into
Sorry.
his shoulder and he just screams out.
Sorry. My mistake.
Fizzle.
Maybe we
My
should.
bow automatically trains on fizzle.
He looks
Oi.
at his shoulder as you draw out the blade from plunging into him, and it trickles out like the smallest like drop of blood, and you see his eyes roll into the back of his head, and he just faints.
Oh shit.
Oh, sure, don't let me do it, but the goblin gets to stab him and nobody complains about it.
I throw an exploding potion into a random direction.
I pointed my bow at him.
Fizzle.
But
You're
what-
not a healer, you are an alchemist. Next time, let's use some acid.
acid? It would be very painful if I poured acid on his shoulder.
Oh, yes, like stabbing a dagger in his shoulder.
Okay, let's just bring him to the guards. Maybe they can deal with. Hopefully, he survives the journey back.
You should heal him, Fizzle.
My potion will not work on him again. Might be a good idea to use the one. I
Zartla-
found.
Zutlam's gonna reach over and put 5 points of lay on hands into the wound.
There we go.
Okay.
This is terrible. I'll carry the guy, everyone else. Let's just get out of this sewer.
Yep.
Get
Okay.
this man.
So
Our job is done. We should
This
report.
This is him?
I go, what's next? Am I gonna do a survival check to get the clam out?
What is this check you're talking about?
Ah.
Okay. How do you proceed?
Um,
We trace our footsteps,
the-
I believe.
Back the way I
Yeah.
came, I
back the
believe.
way we came.
Or attempt to. I'm concerned we no longer see what it was.
Yeah. Okay, I will need some sort of marching order. Who's going? Who's doing what?
Like second to last, I guess.
Zartlam will probably be like second, because I imagine somebody more stealthy will want to scout ahead.
Do I need to do a survival check to remember the way we came?
No. It's pretty straightforward. All the corridors
Alright.
sort of
I
correspond.
will do a stealth check leading the way, but
Yep.
We need the monk last because you're mobile.
I'll
And,
be-
Okay, you're
I'll
stealthy. I still need a perception check though.
Alright.
yeah, so Zartlam, Fizzle, me.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking I would be second to last, but
So
I-
as you
I
begin
see
your
everything.
as you begin your very stealthy but very unperceptive walk
I still
through,
remember where the original trap was.
you do come to oh, give me one sec, guys. Hold one moment.
I did mark it. We remember. Plus, I would remind people.
I also
Hello?
triggered it once. I'm pretty sure I remember where it is.
Yeah, we marked it with chalk. So it's fine.
But we haven't got until there yet. That was it, literally right after the entrance.
Look, there's gonna be like 7 sea creatures in front of us or something. I don't know.
Maybe the mushrooms found us.
You sort of are walking through the swamp, the sewer system, and you're very delicate, and then out of nowhere you hear a big
Oh!
as I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh yeah, I suck at those.
More cubes.
Ooh. And as you see from underneath this this sort of horrible dank water, this jelly cubed form arises as you dash back. So I will place you there because that's where I would imagine you would have ended up, and we will need you all to roll initiative again.
Bloody hell!
I can't see my token.
You will in a moment.
These guys
Damn it,
really
Ro-
need to.
Damn it, Roland, we haven't even taken 5 steps yet.
There's more of them though.
Yeah, and as you step back, you hear the other sort of that same sort of jelly ooze sound from behind you as these two
Natural
grey
20.
like oozes appear from behind.
Could you give me control of the token of the man? Just
That's
assume
okay.
I'm
I'll move him as you go along. That's fine.
Yeah.
Because he's not got any weapons. He's very old and frail, so I wouldn't imagine
Oh, I know what my
any
bonus
combatant
action is.
ability.
Bonus action, disengage.
Run like a motherfucker!
Well, yeah, I'm not staying next to a freaking gelatinous cube.
Plus the other stuff.
I don't
Well,
see
I'm more
why
worried about
everybody's.
the Atlas cube.
I don't see why everyone's so worried about those things. They're so much easier to beat from the inside. That's how Zartlam sees it.
Why is it home time?
Yeah, that's true.
Sure enough.
We'll just do that, so.
He just jumped inside one and then just thrashed about a bit, and it died.
Yeah, so Fizzle, you see this
Yeah.
thing emerging from the sewer water below as you see Roland dash back from the unexpected form.
I believe this is the only entrance, right?
Yeah, there's only one way in and out.
Oh, blast.
Hey, these things are just doing their job cleaning the sewer. You're the
Yeah,
ones, you know, you're in the way.
Right, I'm gonna move. Yoink. Maximum movement speed for me. And exploding fire potion. Let's see what happens. Right here. Right here. Oh, wait. Blast. Something like this. And then, and then. Basically hit these two.
The two at the rear here, yeah?
Ah.
Okay.
And here is, they make a dexterity
Dex
save.
save, yeah.
Yeah. Or take 8 points of fire damage.
Dex.
Does it hit me as well?
No, I threw it in the back. It's only a 15-foot radius. Sorry,
Fif-
diameter.
I was about to say 15-foot radius is pretty
No,
big.
no, diameter. Sorry. 5-foot radius.
So they're one will miss and one will hit.
So one of them takes 8 points of fire damage,
Okay.
assuming they don't have some kind of resistance.
Just check in. Okay. Good to know. We'll say the first one takes some sort of damage. It makes an impact of the one that hits, but it doesn't make the impact you expected it to.
Bloody hell, some kind of weird dark creature. And I'm assuming more than a minute has passed. I'm gonna make another Swiss-step potion.
Okay.
My bonus action. That's my goal.
Okay, Ronan.
I don't even know if these things can see me with my 25 stealth.
You just hit them.
I mean, they can
Walk
see
into-
you. You're just, you know.
Moving silent.
Not to mention, I don't think they see at all.
But yeah, I guess it would be more of a sense.
They have blind sense, I believe, which makes it really hard to stealth from them. Oozes are like a rogue's worst nightmare.
Oi!
Oy. You may be muted, Ronan.
Oh no, sorry, I wasn't saying anything. I was
Okay.
I was thinking. Yeah, I'm coming. I'm going to engage this one. Am I flanking him? Is he facing?
No,
the
not
only
quite.
exit is through here, though.
Sorry.
Yeah, so that's a wall that you passed.
No.
Is
That whole area is a doorway, like an archway, same as it
never
was
mind.
previously.
I
Yeah.
misunderstood last
No,
time.
that's all right.
Okay, so still got two. Okay, and then
Yeah, 21 will hit. The 18 will also hit. Bludgeoning.
Magic
Yeah,
bludgeoning.
okay, nice.
Is it over there?
We'll get an attack of opportunity when you do that, you know.
I'm mobile.
Not with him.
I've got the mobile feat, so as long as I attack, I don't need to disengage.
So he punches them, they look there, and he's no longer there. That's the disengage action point.
That's me.
Roger this.
No, it's in the boat. Okay. The ooze, unfortunately, will focus still on Roland.
The house is really big. So it's a room.
So these does 16 hit.
It does. 16's my AC.
Okay. You take 6 bludgeoning and 8 acid damage as one of them, like, almost like leeches at you and with this weird, like, oozy bite at you. I also need you to make a. Oh no, I don't need you to make a. You. The target is wearing non-magical metal armor, which you're not. It's
I'm wearing studded leather.
studded leather. Okay. Yes.
So there's bits and pieces of metal here and there.
Because it's
Yeah, the
studded.
studs.
Yeah, the studs. Is armor a penalty, corroded, and takes a permanent.
Could turn it from studded leather into leather.
Yeah, pretty much. You take a -1 penalty to your AC.
Oh, what the?
-1 AC.
Yep.
So I'm essentially wearing leather armor.
Yep.
They damaged your armor? God damn it.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do this so you can see. Because one of them missed, so. But that's what happens. And the second one doesn't do anything. Oh, because he missed. Is there anything else they do? No, that's most of it. I do also need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Currently a DC 11.
Yeah. I'll probably. No.
Okay.
I passed with a +0.
Wonderful. Okay, then it is your turn, Roland.
Well, bonus action disengage. Fuck this. Get here. No one's next to them. Fuck.
Yeah, you'll have to hold your attack. And, like, when someone gets next to it.
I hold my attack until someone's within 5 feet of one of them.
Okay,
My sharpshooter attack.
no worries.
Because they're easy to hit.
Caval.
All right. I carefully put down Charlie Saborni, and I walk up to this slime, and I take my dodge action.
And as it gets within 5 feet, I strike it.
Yep, no worries.
Pew pew.
And I say, "Don't worry,
Pretty
Fizzle.
sure a
I'll
21
save you."
hit. For 31 damage.
Ah, okay.
And can I say that's the one that hit me?
That's piercing damage, isn't it?
I say, I'm gonna have to do something about the saving part. Just give me some time, I'll deal with this.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, as you move closer, Caval, and these series of arrows come flying over, and penetrate this ooze, and you hear it kind of give like almost a gargle sound squeal.
Aha! Feel my power.
So anything else other than the dodge action from you?
No, I'm taking the dodge action.
Okay, Zatlam.
Well, they seem to be focusing on these guys, so Zartlan's just going to rush between the two in the front and start attacking the.
Okay.
You're hoping you get engulfed so that you don't get your armor reduced?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Zartlan isn't that perceptive.
Blasted.
I worked very hard to come up with that excuse. I mean, what? And I assume it's been more than a minute, so my spiritual weapon isn't here anymore, correct?
Yeah.
Alright, so just 2 smacks with a sword then.
Okay.
Not, don't think I need advantage on this guy, so.
Yep.
I get to reroll both the dice on the first hit.
And this is the cube, correct?
Correct.
Okay, good to know.
Ugh. So the 1 stayed the same, but the 2 became a 5, so that's 2 11s, so 22 points of damage.
Nice, good to know. Yep.
And bonus action, we'll go ahead and bring up a Shield of Faith.
Okay. That makes your AC now.
Makes my AC 18.
Okay, good to know.
And that's it for my turn.
Okay, so the gelatinous cube is gonna, of course, try to engulf you.
Yep.
One moment.
He was hoping for that.
It does move.
Again, no idea what you're talking about. Dex save, correct?
It is, yep. DC 12. Oh.
Oh no, I am engulfed. How terrible.
Well, considering you kept bragging about how much easier they are to kill from inside,
So,
of course you're going to get
that's
engulfed.
He was just throwing out this general information.
4 of the acid damage as you become engulfed by this.
4 points of acid damage?
Yeah,
That is really low.
that is really
take
low.
it.
You got lucky.
Trying to work it.
I do have to make a concentration check though.
Bit of time. Not sure.
Nice.
That was close.
Okie dokie. Fizzle.
Wow.
I shall protect my armor by jumping into the gelatinous cube. Wait,
Earlier during the day, we established that obviously the gelatinous cube is immune to acid. The last potion I threw gave me the insight that they are resistant to fire as well, at least the 2 smaller oozes, whatever they are. Is it safe for me to assume as an alchemist that they are also resistant to acid at the very least?
The smaller grey oozes, the sewer oozes,
They seem
you
to
haven't.
do
I
acid.
don't think you've fought one of these. The other one was a different type of ooze. So the colouring and the size of it was much larger, and the colouring was more of a golden appearance. These are
Okay.
2 sort of more grey, very like sewery colour.
Well, I would set them both on flame, but I am uncertain as the result. So I'm just gonna chuck an acid potion at the nearest one. This one. See what happens. Dex save of 16.
What's this acid?
Yes, acid.
Yep. Okay.
Fire already know for certain their resistance because it happened last. Hold on. Something is not right. Why does my DC change? That does not make sense.
Well,
Oh,
it was a 4.
Hold
So
on.
you do
wrong,
throw.
wrong spell. 1 second. This one.
That's all right. That's fine.
Wow. Wow.
So you throw it, and it hits against and smashes against this this ooze, and you see the acids kind of splash against this form, and it kind of just absorbs it.
Yeah,
Why are
smart
you
as
feeding it?
I'm making chemical experiments. Don't worry about it. However, I hope someone has some magic weapons because resistances. I'm gonna drink my Swiss step potion and take a few steps back, hide behind the thing.
Okay.
That's my turn for now.
Ronin.
I'm gonna do the same thing again.
Okay.
Engage with this one.
Thump, thump.
18
Yep.
for a lovely 13 points of damage.
Okay. Yeah, again, it gives out the same like gargles, like shriek as the one previously did, as you whack it with your chesticle.
With the stick. Is he still alive?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna whack him again
Okay. Yep, 25 hit.
for 12.
Yeah, you kind of whack him, and as you whack him, it kind of like everything just goes and just kind of splatters everywhere. And you see like remnants of its form kind of running through the sewage water in like the way that it's been like streamed across.
Cool. Yeah, that's. I'm gonna move back.
Okie dokie.
Oh, look! There's a Circa Val in front of it.
Behold, my mighty shield, beast of Weeblex. I am Sir Cavell.
Behold, my mighty sheep. Wait, what happened to it?
I am taking the dodge action for exactly that reason.
I'm pretty sure the ooze is gonna try to eat you.
It's
Nom, nom,
just,
nom, 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 nom,
just a
nom,
less painful version of using a gelatinous ooze to shield you.
Yes, but you see, I'm actually dealing damage with my strategy.
Yes, well, the purpose of you is to deal damage. The purpose of me is to soak it.
So the one being attacked previously by Roland will turn and only see Sir Cavell as you're in range, and will try to attack at you.
Yeah, with disadvantage.
Does an 18 hit?
Nope.
Oh, okie
Defensive fighting
dokie.
style for the win.
Yeah, that was a disadvantage as well. Okie dokie. Then in that case, it's Roland.
I'm gonna shoot that stupid ooze that attacked me. How dare it attack my armor? How dare it? I don't know if a 9 hits.
So no, it doesn't.
It would have hit the gelatinous cube, but oh well.
Yeah.
I miss.
Yes, I did.
And then I will move here and bonus action hide behind this door.
Eric, are you doing potty too?
I'm pretty sure I'm hidden.
Okay, you're confident. Cavell.
Okay. Cavell looks like he'll slash the thing, but he's just messing with you. He takes the dodge action again, as he says the following. Like a rotten log, half buried in the ground, my life, which flowers, does not come to an end by your slimy appendages. And he gives Roland inspiration.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Zotlam.
Just gonna thrash around inside this thing. Actually, one moment. I just thought of something. No, that's second level. No, any spell slots for that you left. All right, yep. Just gonna thrash around inside this thing.
Okay.
And I am at disadvantage because I'm restrained, I believe.
Indeed.
Oh no, AC 8.
Yeah, well, it increases my chances of a nat 1, so.
Well, that was almost, yeah. It could have been worse.
But I didn't.
Yep, both hit.
Are you gonna smite it?
Nah, I'm not going to waste it on this thing. I am going to re-roll that 2 on the first attack, though.
Okie dokie.
Much better. So that's a 15 and a 17 for 32 points of slashing damage.
Nice. 2. Okie dokie. Yeah, you can see it like flinching.
I
as
believe
you're
you just
trying to-
changed my health,
Oh,
not
I
the
did,
you.
sorry.
On the kitchen floor.
Plus 32, you said, wasn't it?
It's okay. He doesn't mind if you die.
I mean, I wouldn't mind too terribly, but I do want to find out what happens with more pieces of my sword before that happens. And don't really have a bonus action, so that's it for me.
Okey-dokey. So, previously, you do take the 19 points of acid damage at the start of each
Alright.
turn. Give me a sec.
I'm still above half health, so.
As the gelatinous cube moves up further. Nom, 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 nom. I'll laugh if it engulfs the ooze, and then you gotta fight the ooze inside it.
It's like a whatchamacallit, the fishbowl in there.
No, I'm imagining it just leaving with his art limb inside it.
Yeah.
Bye! No,
Yeah.
bye!
I mean,
Doesn't it like leave your spot so you would stand there? So
no.
No, it would carry me with it.
Because he's
what?
engulfed. He's engulfed.
Bloody
His class
hell.
is restrained. It has actually done the majority of its work in this sector, so it does actually begin to move away.
Oh, we're moving the other one as well.
Haha, you moved out of range.
Slap!
I punch it. Yeah.
It didn't actually move.
It didn't actually move, but that was hilarious.
Oh,
I was just saying I didn't mean it. It was like actually, man.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So Fizzle.
Oh,
Oh, actually, I think it can move a little bit more than that because it's got 10 feet.
Well, if it's not trying to engulf someone, it can dash.
There you go.
This looks bad. I'm not gonna. If I move past this thing, would I get attacked?
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
Pass.
you could go this side and go round. That would be
Oh.
our range.
But
There's,
there's like
there's 5 feet
What?
gap between the two, so
I could move through here then.
Yeah,
In that
yeah.
case, then I wouldn't get hit. Hold on, let me check. I have 45 movement speed, I believe. So that's okay. I could technically move. Right. I'm gonna do something I don't usually do, but it's resistant to all my attacks. So I'm just gonna shoot it with my hand crossbow.
okay.
Which
Or
one?
light crossbow. The one that's closer to Cavell.
The ooze, yeah, the great, the sewer ooze.
This one.
Yep.
Hold on. I'm not clicking.
Yep.
I'm shooting this one. How do I even?
you
Where's the
just
button?
click the attack button. with
Yeah, I was just looking where it is. There's,
I like to
20.
imagine that the "how do I even" was in character.
Yeah. It's like not
yeah.
very often that I have to
You
shoot
can
stuff.
use a crossbow.
Like, Pizzo is actually damn good with the crossbow, but he never uses it because there's no reason to.
That does hit.
Nice. And let's see what
You don't
damage
even
I do.
need you don't even need to roll damage because
Hey,
it's
fine.
got 1 hit point.
Ah, no.
So
Well,
as your bolt pierces in it, like you see like it starts like its innards starts spraying out like a fountain from the hole that you've gaped into it,
Oh.
and it kind of just like withers through. It does splash at you though, Sir Cavall, so I do need you to make a Constitution saving throw DC 11.
apologies, Cavell. I say as I brush past. Natural 20. Ah.
I eat the ooze.
No, you don't. They don't taste good. They're neither they're healthy for now.
Okay. Yep. So
And
I
I
mean,
moved-
gray oozes are high in iron.
Well, I'm gonna move closer.
Sure thing.
Just wait for
Ronin.
that. Yeah. I'll be
Um,
AFK for a minute.
You are
Okay,
currently
so-
witnessing your friend or your new friend's Artlam being carried away by a cleaning.
You're
Uh,
currently witness the guy that you informed his assassin that he's in town.
Oh, perfect. So is he been taken to the assassin to my new best friend?
You've got no idea.
Okay. Ronin. He's gonna run. He's gonna use this dead thing here as a trampoline. Oh no! Don't chew my. Oh, fuck. Hello.
Hello?
Hello?
Yep.
Hello?
Oh, my guinea pigs are eating my headphone wire. Just 1 second. I can't hear anything. Anyway, I'm gonna run. Use this as a trampoline. Jump over here and attack him twice.
Okay.
Um.
Oh no, what is that thing?
You're jumping into the ooze, or you,
That's a silly ghost.
I'm just imagining like a jump kick where where the ooze just kind of like,
Ghosty.
nice, more food.
Yeah, 22 does hit.
Yeah, ghosty.
And so
Nah,
does
he's
a
using his staff.
I ghost.
Yep.
Ghost.
And then I'm gonna walk backwards. Apologies, I can't hear anything. That is my go.
Say.
I'm gonna try to sort out my headphone situation.
I believe that provokes an attack of opportunity.
No, that's
You
more
can
fun.
do a goblin.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
I always forget it when people take that feat.
Hey guys.
Just trying to calculate damage.
Say ah. Say goblin. Say I'll put me.
A Zartlam takes 14 bludgeoning damage. Ow!
Ow, don't.
No, it's like getting
Don't
punched through a
open
pillow.
your-
A very acidic pillow.
No, say don't open your teeth. Don't open it.
So yeah, it'd be Roland.
Perfect.
I imagine it'd be like somebody laying
Alright,
underneath
so
a waterbed and then somebody punching the waterbed.
I move to the
Close
side.
your teeth.
The thing doesn't even notice me, so I have
That's
advantage. And then I'm gonna short
Now.
sword.
Now you
Not
can
that I
eat.
really need advantage, but because I'm at +2, I'm gonna take it.
See you, Ghosty.
Okay. 12 hits.
No, a 12 hits.
Yep.
So it takes 27 damage.
Ooh, nice. How do you want to do this?
I want it so the arrow stops an inch before Zartlam's nose.
He's now like encased by like arrowheads,
What knows?
like round, like literally, almost like a magician's magic trick. You're just now surrounded by these bolts and arrows, just like encasing you, as this weird sort of gelatine form begins to deflate around you as you break out of the weird membrane-like skin.
Zartlam just looks back at the others and says, I had it right where I wanted it, you know.
Yeah, but
I
we
look-
can't spend the whole day here.
I look at Zartlam and go, I know you did, but you know, you tried to eat me, so I had to learn who its master was.
Sure. Okay.
And then I'll go ahead and pump 15 points of lay on hands into myself.
Okay.
I look at the old elf guy and go, alright, we can return to the topic.
All right, I pick up Mr. Elfman, Mr. Charlie Saborni, and we keep walking.
Which direction are you going? You've got the way
same
Back
that
the
was
way
the
we
lower.
came.
Okay, so you're returning.
We've accomplished our goal for down here. The way I see it. Right?
Another perception check, I guess.
I mean, we could explore more, but at the moment,
No. We have achieved that. No.
Sorry about that, guys. I'm back now.
That's all right.
We
Yeah,
could
but-
explore more. The old
I decided to get my guinea
explore.
pig out, and he ate through my headphone cable.
Wait, what?
we could explore more. The old man probably can't.
I second that.
We can come back at a later date.
Probably not.
You know,
No.
uh,
Not really looking forward to trudging this sewer again with all the doozies and diseases and random bug meat, whatever creatures.
I cast prestidigitation and make it smell like roses around.
Doesn't
Speaking
really
of
help
which,
much.
is there a check I can make to see if any of the others seem like they're coming down with anything from all the infected wounds they may have taken?
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
You can go ahead and
I
you
was
can
told I
make a
feel
general
fine.
medicine check, I guess.
A medicine check?
Yeah.
Should I do one for each person or just one general?
If you're checking everyone, it will be for each individual person, and you can stipulate as you roll them who you'd like them to be for.
I would advise you to check us after we've left the sewers, but okay.
I think I'm just gonna do Fizzle and the old man for now because I think they've had the worst of it.
Yep.
I'm not very good at medicine, just doing a quick check to make sure they're not gonna hinder us on our way out.
I was told I was feeling fine, so you know.
So,
Yeah, you're fine, Fizzle.
Yeah,
Yep.
you seem
See,
fine.
I was right.
Yeah, no, they're fine.
Yeah.
I was almost a natural 20, goddamn.
The bad rolls where it's important.
Yep. I'm gonna have
Let's
to
go.
live in-
Come on, guys. Let's go. You're fine.
Sure.
Those festering lesions are natural.
Yep. You know, radiation poisoning and whatnot.
Let's keep going.
We follow our scouts.
I'm carrying
So,
Charlie.
as you sort of maneuver through
What?
and you carry through, Roland, I do need you to make a perception check once
I
again.
got a 13 for when we left.
Another one?
Another one? I'm good with one.
Yeah, I'd say you need one as you come round this corner, returning to
13.
an old.
13!
Yeah.
Same thing.
There is no pass through past the point where the wall the wall empties out, but you do notice where you hear the loud workings of the slurping gelatinous cube horde that is
that is
working its way through the sewer line.
Ronan, help Cavell. Now?
If we stay up here, they don't seem to come up here.
Nope. Pretty sure that's not the case.
I would say that's probably not the case.
We need to move now. Come on, guys. Other direction. Opposite direction.
Which way?
Opposite direction of the plastic
Pick
tubes.
one. Pick
This.
one.
I point this direction. Come on.
I don't see what you're all so worried about, but fine.
There's a lot of acid over there.
1, 2, 3,
Like a
4,
pit
5,
full
6,
of acid.
There's only like 8 of them.
Who's
don't-
leading? Who's leading the march here?
Roland?
Roland. As you progress through, I do need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh god, not another trap.
Well, first you can make a dexterity saving throw because he's on an uneven surface. It's not actually a walkable surface. You're literally scaling the side of this cornered environment that you've been cornering,
I got a 21.
hoarding over here. And then as the wall sort of dissipates further down, you will have to place yourself, unfortunately, in the sewer's edge of the water.
Yep.
And I need you to make a perception check and then a dexterity saving throw. Depending on your perception will depend on.
Natural
Okay,
20.
so you have
Natural 20%.
advantage on your dexterity saving throw. So
26.
as you
Oh,
approach, you hear the sound of rushing water as your leg begins to drag. You can see the large, heavy drop below of the waterfall.
Uh-oh.
It's around probably about 50 feet in
I can
depth.
do that. I have slow fall.
So do I.
Um,
Should we swan dive?
I'd rather not, but
we don't have much time. Does anyone remember a position where the waterfall wasn't as high?
it's
Wasn't there one down here where we fought the monsters?
There is one there, and then one there, is memory serves. But
Yeah.
and one here. Like, there's waterfall everywhere, man.
Yeah.
I would like to.
How far were the drops in the other two
We have to
waterfalls?
pick a direction and
This
go.
one was about 10 feet or so.
I vote this direction.
The other one was unclear because it just descended into darkness.
Quickly, vote. I vote this direction.
Which
Quickly.
direction?
This
Which one?
direction. The one I'm
You do
picking.
realize that Circumvalsite has slow fall, so we can literally
How
all
many-
drop down softly.
How many people can
Well.
that affect? Let's go!
All right.
Bloody hell! Old man, live if you're
Okay.
conscious.
So who has slow fall?
I have slow fall.
So Sokoval.
No, all of us has.
Oh, you've cast it on all of you, have you?
Up to 5.
Wonderful, good to know.
When I said 12, I lied.
Wait, what?
The monk already has slow fall, so cast it on the old man and.
I mean, I'm carrying the old man, so that's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's for one creature, motherfucker. Oh no, 5
Regardless.
creatures. 5 falling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay, this is bad.
Yep, and we jump.
Okay.
Nonchalantly. Whee!
I hate this sewer!
And then you just like, and as rose petals sort of like surround
How-
you, but there's like you're falling slowly with rose petals around you.
Is the water any deeper here, or is it still just?
Oh
waiting?
yeah, it's a lot deeper.
Help!
It's above belt line.
So I'm
For
completely
everyone but
submerged.
Fizzle.
So-
For Fizzle, it'd be like your
Neck.
neck. So you
Help!
literally all you can
Help!
see is this head of Fizzle.
I was
Zartlam,
mostly worried that Zartlam was gonna sink like a rock. That's what I was asking.
No, it's not that deep, but it's deep for me. Fucking. Well, I'm a good swimmer as far as I know, but I would prefer to find some. Dry
In
ground.
terms of your positioning, Roland, you wouldn't be able to position yourself there with the depth of the water.
Alright, I
Can-
just assumed I moved there.
Help!
Can Zartlam just pick up Fizzle and set him on his shoulder?
I look miserable. Thank you.
like a drowned cat.
But the first part of that, Roland, is that's around the corner from where the fall is. So, yeah.
I hate this sewer.
Okay. So currently, most of you waist depth, difficult terrain. Very difficult for you there, Fizzle.
I repeat myself. I need to find a way to deal with this.
I just imagine Fizzle like floating on these rose petals, and you see the water approaching, and he puts out his toe, and the moment he hits the water, it's just like, bloosh.
Hence why Zartlam is picking Fizzle up and putting him on his shoulders, because Zartlam is tall.
Oh yeah, like I said, very miserable and grumpy.
So you like giving him like a shoulder carry.
Basically, yes.
Wonderful. My dreams have come true.
I give you a swift step potion just in case, because this is probably slowing us down. Yeah,
Works
this
for
might
me.
help.
Well, I can move at normal pace. It's called dash as a bonus action.
We just move through this and keep going, Roland.
Well, we can get up here now. Ugh.
Keep in mind, Zartlam's over 6.5 feet tall, so
Look, I have an old man to carry, Roland. Keep scouting ahead.
Supposedly the monkey's helping with that.
So
because, you know,
there is like a break in an intersection. It kind of curves round uphill. The water rushes down this direction.
should we follow the
here.
water?
It comes in a downward motion,
I make
and then there's a
suggestion.
break in the intersection. Oh,
Don't move it.
just there, where it kind of there's like another trail that leads off in that direction.
Do I see the light?
What light?
Do I see any light at the end of it?
Nope. You can see. No, you can't.
Might I make a suggestion so we follow the water? It's gotta lead somewhere. I mean, even if it's not a real river, still flows out somewhere.
Roland,
precisely.
just scout ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Currently, the current of the flowing water leading downwards is pushing against you, restricting you anymore. But if you do a perception check for me.
Throw high, we need information. Not bad.
Okay. You can see the intersection that you passed just a moment ago. There he is.
You see all the other old men.
There is a strange glow coming from the opening here.
I point that out to the others.
That sounds like a great entrance. Let's go.
Anything is
Yep,
better
start
than
moving
being
towards it.
eaten alive, to be honest.
Could you
Yes,
all
let's-
roll a stealth check, all of you, please?
Disadvantage?
Sure.
I guess I can.
Sure.
What is stealth?
Disadvantage and disadvantage.
I have a disadvantage as well.
Wow, that actually wasn't too bad
Oh.
for me.
Not too bad for me either.
Me and Ronan are just like leading the card.
Apparently, the sewage is muffling the clinking of armor
Somewhat.
for some of us.
So
Yeah, I have an old man to carry
yeah.
around. So.
as you get closer to the intersection and try and investigate this glow from this room, the water does become a little bit less of an issue, as it seems to be like gradually less deep, and you see like steps that lead into this environment. You do hear a very loud and you hear a boom, 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 boom.
What the pause is that?
I need you all to roll initiative.
What the hell?
Okay.
I'm sure we're about to find out.
I mean, it's. I think I know what it is,
Me.
but I'm just gonna
Yep.
roll initiative and we'll see what it is.
That one!
Zertlam always wants to go last.
That's a natural one.
No. No, I don't.
I got a 2, so not too far behind.
But I'm still getting used to having my own goblin turret. I mean, what?
I can easily oblige. We'll probably move away though, considering there is and so you would probably be rushing
Yeah,
the
and
fight.
as you hear this, you can see now sort of most of the room as you kind of clearly investigate where the sound is coming from. You see rushing to the entrance of this
bullet.
this area.
Oh no.
This huge beast with strange red like crab claw marks and almost a very human looking head in appearance, like a skull head, but there's all these barnacles and shells that are protruding and growing from its form.
Oh God! It's a man who's been transformed by the clams.
Could it be?
What will you do, Ronan?
So this is what you mammals call a food fight, I take it.
Food fight?
Yes, I suppose so.
Does this thing look friendly? Like it want to be friendly?
Oh no!
It looks like it wants to give you a big bear hug.
That's not a good thing.
And then eat you.
That's even worse.
So, but he doesn't look like if I punch him, he's going to be made of acid, does he?
Oh,
Hard to tell.
Hard to tell. Okay, well, I'm going to hit him twice.
Yeah.
You could technically punch him as a bonus action.
That's exactly what I was going to do.
punch, punch, punch.
So a 12 and a 17.
Give me 1 sec.
Don't you get 2 attacks? Level
Yeah,
5?
He just did 2 attacks.
25 and
Yeah,
17.
He's dealing with the staff first. He'll deal with the unarmed in a second. Just be patient.
Oh, sure. I got confused.
I remember the purple ones had low hit points.
They both hit. The first
both
one
hit.
seemed to find purchase
never-
relatively simple. The second one kind of you almost like ricochet off of his armor, but you just find like a notch that manages to sink a blow.
Okay, perfect. So that is 12 points of damage. That's very disappointing. That's two ones on my d6 on my d8s there.
Yep.
See, this is why I like the two-handed fighting style, because I get to be like, oh, ones, no.
Yeah, and then I'm going to flurry of blows with a headbutt, and a roundhouse.
Okay.
Nice. The headbutt hits.
The roundhouse hits even better.
Oh, I've lost it. Where
No, the headbutt hits better.
Max damage on that, nice.
And then I'm going to... Oh, how far did I come in?
So these are non-magical, correct?
The first two were magical. The
Yep.
second two weren't.
Okay, good to know. So as you attack this monster brutally, first with your Justifol, and then you kind of one-handedly you kind of try and punch and headbutt it. As you punch it, your knuckles you hear go, and as you kind of give a confused look, you headbutt it, and your head goes like vibrates and reverbs, and you just kind of sharp pain. There's no reaction from the beast.
Bloody hell.
No. Guys, oh shit! Don't. That hurt. That hurt.
What do you mean? Is it immune to physical attacks?
I think it. I think I took all the damage of that one.
Did your staff do anything?
I believe the staff did very well. My head not so much.
Zarklam, you are our hope.
Sure thing, just let me put this goblin down first.
I can get off on my own. Thank you.
Throw the goblin at him.
Hey! Too much talking in this 6 seconds.
He's
walk
not
to the
a
shallows.
goblin.
I walk to the shallows and I look for a spot to put down the old man. So I sort of try and stabilize him so that at least his upper body is kept above water. I'm just like, well, this isn't working, and that's my turn.
Okay.
Roland.
I'm gonna look at this thingy right here and go, well, I think I'll try a new trick. As I try to shoot it with a firebolt.
Okay.
And miss horribly.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of just flies out, and you see it wedge itself into like a gap in the stonework. You just see this flame just burning into the stone. It kind of illuminates the room a little bit more.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a new trick I learned. Only problem is, not that good with it. Not as good as with the bow.
We've seen it before. It was pretty much the same thing.
Okay.
No, you didn't, because I was always hidden behind something before I launched it.
So
Sure.
the clam monster will rush at you, Ronin.
Bring it.
Shit.
Oh shit. I hope this isn't as bad as I think it might be.
Whack! Whack! Punch! Kick!
Crab claw. Yeah.
Grr.
He forced us to come this way.
Does a 24 hit?
No, of course not.
So with its claw, it grabs you around the waist. You are currently grappled.
Okay.
And you take 12 points of bludgeoning damage as it squeezes at you.
Ouch.
12. Nothing. That's nothing.
Does a 16 hit?
No, it does not.
Oh, you are lucky.
Yes, I am.
And I also need you to make a Constitution saving throw, DC 11.
So many diseases here.
Sorry, what was that?
A Constitution saving throw, DC 11.
Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
That's a 5.
Okay.
Do I shatter some ribs?
No, you're okay. It's fine.
No,
You're
he's
okay.
Just
You're just gonna
he's just
start.
infecting us with sewer bullshit.
Crap.
No. He's infecting you with barnacles.
Well, we're gonna find out eventually.
The
Maybe.
fungus
It smells
begin
weird.
to sprout their spider-like elongated legs as one moves just behind you there, Ronin, as you're now grappled, and will attempt to rub against Zartland.
Ugh. This brings back horrible memories.
Oh, 1d4. Oh, that's lucky.
Oh, it's the whole like 4 attacks. So.
Yeah.
1d4 attacks, but yeah.
Oh, an 18 doesn't hit. Sorry, an 8 it doesn't hit even.
I was going to say an 18 would hit, but an 8 does not.
No, it's fine. The other seems to follow suit. This time at you, Fizzle.
Fuck! I dodge. Oh my god, I'm about to die.
Since I'm still holding him, can I get in the way of that?
I thought you said you placed him down. Did you not?
It's not his turn. I'm
Haven't
still
had
on
a
top.
chance yet. It hasn't been my turn.
Oh, okay.
It hasn't been either of our turns.
Probably not.
Probably not. I mean, one's rubbing up against you, and these are quite tall, gangly things. It's probably just going to lick its top, like spire at Fizzle.
Well, I tried, Fizzle.
I call upon the gods of luck. I need to survive this.
Hey, Fizzle, it's going after your feet.
So, does a 13 hit you?
Nope.
Right, then in that case, there's only 2 that hit. 7 necrotic and 8 necrotic, so that's 15.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. So as it kind of like it's almost like the top half is almost very tongue-like, like elongated, and it's kind of like almost like licking your face, but like rubbing up against you, leaving these horrible spores. It's almost like giving you a really bad kind of headache vibe from its necrotic damage.
Nope.
Fizzle.
Shit! Disengage action. I'm getting the hell out of here. I move away to the closest like pocket of something that I can find that I'm away from at maximum 25 movement speed. That'll be somewhere around here, right? Can I still see Zartland?
Yeah. From there, you'd be able to see.
I cast Shield of Fate on him.
Okay.
That's a
I
bonus
will take it.
action.
What?
That's
I
your
said I
bonus
will take-
action.
No. Yeah, that's my bonus action. My action was to disengage. Because I do not want to be eaten alive. There. So that's pretty much everything. Movement speed, bonus, action. I'm done.
Okay.
Hoping to stay alive.
So then
Gonna
Zartland.
mark the shield. I have concentration.
This weird thing seems to be dry humping your side as Zartland jumped off of your Fizzle jumped off of your shoulders and escaped from the other ones.
There's a slight shimmer of arcane energy.
Irritated these things are getting in the way of me fighting the bigger thing. I'm just gonna
Smack!
The big thing might not, non-magic weapons might not work on, but no one said anything about that for these guys. So let's go and take a swing at the one that tried to attack me first.
Mm-hmm.
With worthless scrap metal.
Smack. Pretty good.
Yep.
I'm gonna re-roll that too.
Okay.
Hit, hit, hit.
Up to 12 damage.
Okay.
And second swing.
Whack. Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
nothing I can really do about that.
Okay. Let's,
Actually, wait, do I have flanking for Ronan?
oh yeah, no, that would count. Yep.
So
Yep.
2 more attacks rolls.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would have been the off roll
So,
for the first
yeah,
attack.
so yeah,
Just
that,
in
that makes
case, you know,
sense.
maybe not 20. Come on, double 20s. Come on. Let's do this.
Well,
Natural
not
20.
double 20s, but there's a 20.
There's a
There we
crit.
go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm
Once
going to
or once.
re-roll 3 of those 4 dice.
Come on, roll high.
I
Come
mean,
on.
with that, it is dead.
Ah.
Yeah, but I want to see how high I can get it.
Go
Oh.
for it.
Pretty good.
That's a pretty good roll.
An
21
additional
points of
9
damage.
Yeah. And again, as you're slicing through this strange fungus-like liquor tongue, it is like again very fishy and very stinky from inside.
As my bonus action, can I just hold my sword out between the other one and Fizzle and say, try dealing with me first?
Okay. Ronin,
So I am currently grappled by this bastard.
you are currently grappled, yes. If you wish to escape, it is a DC 15 strength saving throw.
A strength saving throw.
Indeed.
You can also attack it.
You're doing great, Ronan.
Or you could
Keep
attack
it
it,
up.
yeah.
I was going to ask, did anyone take the flask of oil?
Yep.
If I was to douse myself in the oil, could I have advantage on that? So
Well, it
I
would
mean,
require
you
an
don't
action.
really know what kind of oil it is, but
okay.
if
Well,
you,
in that case-
I mean, it would take the action to do that, but I would allow it after that. Yeah.
After allow it, but that's if it's a sort of oil that was greasy.
Yeah, I mean,
When you
it's an oil, so it's definitely slick and slippery.
There is.
But it would definitely take you a full action to douse yourself in it.
I was gonna
When you-
douse the creature in oil and burn it.
Yeah, when you were talking about dousing yourself in oil, I thought you were going to ask, if I'm on fire, do I have advantage on escape?
Well, it might drop you. Who knows?
What do I want to do? How's he looking at the moment?
The
Hit
beast,
him with 2 attacks.
Yeah.
he's
Barely hit him
pretty
twice.
damn good. I mean, he looked gross as hell, but
It's a 19 strength save.
yeah, so you're out.
I'm out. Perfect. Oh shit.
Any bonuses?
Good move
Patient
around.
defense.
Step of the wind.
Yeah.
Patient defense is a bonus action is a really good idea, right?
Well, step of the wind allows him to dash and disengage at the same time.
True enough.
Or is it one or the other?
No, it's
It's-
you can
it's
take
what-
the
It's
disengage.
either dash or dodge, but I've got 50 foot movement speed anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Oh,
Step of the wind,
alright.
and fuck off.
Alright.
Nice thing about the Roll20 compendium, it's easy to look stuff up. Yeah, it's disengage or dash, not both. My bad.
It will be too powerful. If it...
Also doubles his jump distance when he uses it.
Okay.
I've used that quite a few times,
Caval.
and I like it.
Having let go of Grandpa in a suitable location, I will kill the purple slime thing by
I need to make
attacking it. Yeah, by flanking it with Mr.
Zarlam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
just occurred to me, I should make a Githyanki monk sometime. So I use jump and then use step of the wind, so I have a ×6 jump distance.
Do they stack?
I don't know, that would be a DM's discretion thing.
Oh, I am Superman!
Well, yeah, step of the wind would be a bonus action, so as long as it's an action.
And I will look at Zartlan and I will say, both the victor and the vanquished are but drops of dew, but bolts of lightning. That are us two.
Kill stuff.
And I inspire you, and that's my turn.
Okay. Roland.
Pew, pew.
Alright, I don't like this purple thing. So I'm gonna try and shoot it.
Kind of purplish red.
Yep.
Does a 14 hit it?
Yep.
So 26 damage.
Okay. Yeah. So as your arrows go into it, kind of just like becomes very limp and still.
Capital
Perfect.
idea, chap.
If I can find a blooming thing. There we go.
And then I move over here.
What?
The
Well, it's gonna come crashing through. I don't want to be its target.
Why,
Uh,
hello!
the monster
crab
does
man.
rush and attempt to attack at Circavel.
Fight me, you lumbering, sloppy thing.
Momox.
Mm.
I just figured out what that token reminds me of.
Which token?
The
one
G
with creature?
the G zombie from the new Resident Evil remake.
So
Looks like a pile of
does
garbage. Let's go.
does a 19 hit?
Yeah, barely.
So first of all, the 22 hit for the claw,
Yep.
and you'll take 14 bludgeoning as he grasps you with his claw,
Ow.
and then he slams you to the ground for another 19 bludgeoning.
Oh!
Well, I'm still up. And I
Holy
say,
shit.
"Hey, is that the best thing you got?
You spit a little bit.
And it gives out like a, and you can see
Yeah,
now,
that's what I
being
thought.
closer, that the humanoid like partially decayed face is definitely that of a human of some description. This was once something else. Fizzle,
What? Splinter?
you witness the stilling of the violet fungus as it becomes still and lifeless, and your friend Circaval now grasped in the claws of this crab monster.
This does not look good. What's the old man doing? Is he like unconscious somewhere to the side?
No, he's now awake at this stage, but he's kind of just like very panicked and kind of at the back.
Stay back, old man, and I'm going to shoot the creature with the acid vials.
Okay.
Chemical acid. So this is save of 16, or it will take 15 acid damage possibly.
Okay. Dex save. Yep, so that'll hit. 15.
Does it look like the damage is taking effect?
I'm just making sure. This is not magical, is it? It's just.
It is magical.
Oh, it is
magical acid,
and
magical fire.
In that case, it has advantage against the saving throw. So give me a sec.
I mean, acid mostly does full damage to pretty much everything, and plus it does,
Yeah.
Bonus damage for items.
Oh, that's
Unless
2 8s anyway.
specifically resistant.
I literally rolled the same on both of those throws. So yeah, that'll hit. It seems to take place. It kind of hits the side, and you see the acid like fizzing away, and like one of the barnacles kind of like drops and clambers and rolls off onto the floor somewhere out of sight.
Very well. And I will end my turn.
You can do all the planes to look over there.
Okay.
Hey, planes, look over there. There's a rain. Look, there's a rain.
All right, and that's your turn, right?
Yeah, that's my turn.
Darkland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hit.
So, how tall is this thing?
It's huge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's very tall, very broad, very red. You can see the glistening that this hide has got like a really thick shell to it.
Can he
I
jump
was-
over it?
That's what I was considering, but if it's that big, I'm not sure flanking would even work on it. So, just gonna come up, dropping my non-magical greatsword, pull out the broken silver blade, and take a stab.
Yeah, shiv it.
Prison style.
Dragon.
Just checking something real fast.
Mhm.
Yes, I know you can do it, Luan.
I'm sure I don't
Ooh,
want to Kamehameha.
okay. Before that, I would, as a bonus action, I would like to cast Dominating Fate.
Okay. And what does that do again?
Let me make sure it's got the spell card there. So ignore the damage roll for that one.
Yep.
But basically, as long as I maintain concentration on this, each hit deals an extra 1d4 psychic damage.
Okay. Yeah. No worries. Sounds good.
Rather than just taking a single divine smite, I'll use my last spell slot on that.
Sure. Sounds good.
Yeah, makes sense.
Does a 15 hit it?
15 does not hit.
You have
Good to know. Yeah, but I have to use that before I find out whether it hits or not. I just needed to get myself a ballpark. Does a 19 hit it?
does hit.
If I remember correctly, the monk just hit on a 17.
18 piercing. And do you want me to re-roll the dominating favor or just take that damage?
I'll take
roll?
that first floor if you want. Yeah, I'll take that if you want.
Does the psychic damage seem to affect it at all?
Yeah, you kind of see its like head kind of shaking, even though it's not really got like a brow or whatever. You can kind of see that it's almost like it winces from the psychic damage. So yeah, it does seem to take purchase.
All right. Well, that's my turn.
Okay. And Ronin.
How is the crab man looking?
Hard to tell. Seems pretty good to me.
Seems pretty good. Well, not for long.
Yeah, because you're gonna crack some crab.
How tall is he?
Sure.
I mean, you
Can I get round him?
couldn't get around him at this stage because he's now in the doorway.
Can I jump over him?
You could try. How high can you jump?
As much as his strength, I think.
I mean, he's pretty huge. If you wanted to try and do some parkour kind of stuff,
Can I
then,
I acrobatics over him?
Yeah, I would allow like an acrobatics check to do some sort of parkour in agility over the top of him if you wanted.
That's a natural one.
Yep.
So you would now rush within his limit. So I'm guessing you'd be closer, and as you hit the wall to like try and kick yourself off and like come above him, kind of your footing is completely misjudged, and you slip and you fall.
Right
and
in front
you
of him.
kind of have to, yeah.
Okay. Am I prone?
No, I'd say you just enough that you're not prone.
Okay, and the parkour, was that my action?
Yep.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna stand there looking sheepish.
Fair enough.
You just see Sir Cavell with the fucking claw, and he's just like, "What the hell, man?"
Oh, that was amazing.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I thought that'd be more impressive.
Yeah, usually that's how
Right
it works.
now, Roland's just face palming.
Oh well.
I didn't realize how slippery the walls.
We're in a sewer. We're covered in mud and everything else under the sun. What do you expect?
Nothing fancy in that. Just kill it. So I strength check my way out of this.
Yeah, you might need to. I can't remember what the DC was. Hold on.
15.
Was it 15?
Last you said.
Yeah.
You pick up.
Second wind. 12 hit points.
Nice.
Very nice.
And that's my turn.
Okay. Rolling.
Again. Because my non-magical bow won't.
Well, you have a silver arrow.
You do have a
No, I
singular
don't.
silver arrow.
I have
no,
a
it was
silver arrow.
Ronin.
Why do you have a silver arrow?
Because you put
Yeah.
Crit firebolt hit.
Yeah, nice, okay.
For ignore sneak attack, 26 fire.
Okay. Nice.
you rolled the exact same thing on both.
Yep.
Kind of gives out a shriek and a yell. You can see it kind of like not liking some of this. Some of the barnacles kind of pop like popcorn off of his back. And you hear the
Popcorn.
And then I go, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And move over here and try a bonus action hide. Because I'm afraid it's gonna come after me.
There's a lot of things to push through to reach.
Well, it's Monster Man's turn.
I know, but I just
yeah.
hit it really hard with the fire spell.
because it's got a particular thing that it's below a certain hit points. It now does
Stuff.
It's enrage.
Could be. It does stuff now. Extra
Yeah,
stuff.
We've entered the second hit point bar.
Old school, y'all.
It's been blooded.
Okay. So
There's blood in the water. Huh?
6 stars.
Oh,
3.
no.
No, that's fine. You're lucky. Because if it hit a 6, then you guys are screwed.
Some kind of poison card, probably.
No, it has advantage on all of its attacks.
Bloody hell!
It snaps its pinchers, looking at both Ronin and Circaval.
Sartlam is also in the area.
Yeah, he is.
Nope. He's being ignored again.
Does a 20 hit you, Ronin?
I am camouflaged by the corpses
20
of its
does hit,
allies.
yeah.
And does
Yeah.
a 21 hit you, Circaval?
Yep.
14 points of bludgeoning damage to you, Circaval.
How much?
14. And you are grappled once again by the claw.
Thanks.
And because he has a second claw, Ronin, you are also grappled and being squeezed.
So was you cutting out?
Sorry, you are also grappled by the second claw and squeezed for 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
It's almost like the DM knows that I have a certain ability I've been saving.
Zartlam.
That's his job.
Sorry, Fizzle. Sorry, Fizzle.
Oh, I'm going to do the same thing. Acid
It's
seems to
acid
be
time!
acid seems to be affecting it quite well, so we need to kill it.
Well, fire also.
Fire.
Yeah, but fire would damage you as well because it explodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So acid.
The acid single target.
Where is the thing? Acid. It is a DC save of 16. Yeah, roll the same thing. 14 again. No, last time was 15. Never mind. DC save of 16. Hoping
Yeah, it takes
will
14 points of.
Hey, nice. And I'm gonna sit tight. I'm within 25 feet, right? Yeah. Okay. Good. Gonna sit tight. That ends my turn.
Okay.
Whoa, we're halfway there.
Sure.
It's alright. I have advantage on my next attack against it, so, you know, that helps.
Zartlam.
Alright.
I'll get rid of these because they're dead.
Gonna try and stab this thing a couple more times.
Go ahead.
Stab.
The old man's
Alright,
probably like,
so-
wow, these
so
guys are
before-
fat.
Before you say anything, Nick, I'm going to use the inspiration on that 14.
Yeah, okay.
What's your die?
It's just a 1d6,
You don't need too much.
but you can maybe.
Well, 4.
Nice.
18.
Okay, yes, so that makes that 2 hits.
Hit it hard. Didn't you say you get like a D4 on top of stuff?
On each one, yes.
Yep. Okay, do you want to roll your d4s?
So that is 15 magical piercing damage and 6 psychic damage, so
Nice.
21 total.
Okay. Good to know.
Not bad for something that's essentially a dagger.
That's pretty good.
How do you want to do this?
Hey!
I want to stab it in on the first one, dig my fingers of my other hand into the crack in its hide, break it open like a crab shell, and then jam the second attack inside.
Nice. Yeah. So as you split the shell and the armor of this beast, like prying it open, like you're trying to make your way into a building using a crowbar, and you see just all this white, like muscle and meat and everything just kind of spill out as you just rip out its innards, and it kind of just goes limp, still holding on to Zartlam and Ronin. Kaval and Ronin at this stage, but it is most certainly dead.
Oh my. Oh, perfect.
Is
Great.
there an exit through there? For this place?
That was
Let's
just
just-
a reveal.
Let's just get inside this room and see what's there.
I'll go ahead and shove the corpse into the room now that it's not actively resisting.
It's still pretty heavy. I mean, this beast would be quite a weight, but yeah, it just kind of slumps over and it's kind of was leaning more on one leg.
I don't need to move it far. I'm mostly just
I
making
attempt to
room
lead
so
the old
people can
man.
get in.
Yeah, we just need a way in behind it, like besides it.
More shoving it aside than in, I guess.
Yeah, so look, kind of leans up against the corner of this pillar.
I'm like, hey,
Charlie, let's go.
Frizzle,
inside
can
here.
I have one of those healing potions you like so much?
We already used one.
I haven't.
As you enter the room, you can do a perception check for me.
I finally took damage, so I'm like, I may as well get healed.
Uh,
Oh yeah, I'm back to full.
I need a short rest.
Perception check, you said?
Perception check, yeah, from everyone that enters the room.
Yeah.
I would prefer to have that rest out.
Hey, that's actually not bad for me.
Yeah, cool.
Wait, everyone?
I see everything.
So Ronin, you're the first to notice that there is a long rope ladder on the floor that seems to be suitable but not currently in use, as it's just piled up on the floor. Roland, you do notice the well access point, or I say the sewer access point above the area, which is up here.
I point that out.
And you also notice that there is like a portion of this crab beast that seems to have like a satchel of sorts on the side of it.
Oh, I grabbed that.
It actually has.
I mean, the satchel itself is embedded within its armor, but you can manage to open the catch and see what's inside if you like.
All right, we'll
How-
do. I'll
how
roll
high-
an investigation.
How high up is the exit there?
It's about. I'd say it's about 80 foot or thereabouts.
Oh boy. Too high.
But this rope ladder that you see is about 80 foot long.
Okay.
I got
So
a 20.
it's almost like it was made for that purpose, but for whatever reason, it's kind of been put down.
Hey Ronan, I've got an idea. Come here for a second.
I could fix up the ladder as well. Just in
Inside
case.
inside this bag, the satchel, just so you know, is 75 silver pieces.
75 silver?
Silver pieces, yep.
Alright.
There is a handful of regular mushrooms.
Okay.
What mushrooms?
There is some stale bread.
Okay.
There is
A magical bow?
Nope.
No, there is there is a token, a rather large token. It's about trying to work out really how big it is. If you was to put your index fingers together and your thumbs together, it's about that circular size, and it's like a token, and on the front it's a symbol that you recognize as being an elven symbol.
Okay,
And
as an elf, I recognize it.
It's a symbol of nobility.
Mm-hmm. Powerful.
But it's it's long out of service, but the name the name like behind this token symbol is still known within sort of certain circles, but
I will take the token.
okay.
And I'll pocket the elven noble token.
Yep.
Because I'm the only elf in the group.
Yeah. Finally, there are a handful of bent nails.
Bent nail. Oh, no. I heard something about mushrooms. Killer mushrooms.
Mushrooms that are regular.
I-
What
Yeah,
do you
just
mean
I-
regular?
yeah.
Normal edible like mushrooms you'd put in a stew or a soup or.
I take the 75 silver and the token. I leave the rest of the crap in there.
Those nails are bent nails, bent iron nails.
Handful of bent iron nails.
If you guys want to loot the rest of it, you can. I just took the silver and the...
Aha! Stale bread. No.
I'm gonna add 75 silver to my character sheet for now, and when we get out, I'll divvy it up.
Well, if you.
You can just keep
out-
it. Like, not really a big deal.
Well, I can wait till we get out.
Pay for the drinks next time.
Or I can just buy drinks at the tavern next time we go with it. I don't know. For everybody.
So,
Those nails I could probably use for something.
I'm sure they could be.
A handful
Charlie,
of bent nails? You can
Yeah,
have them
well,
if you
yeah.
want them.
Charlie,
You'll
you're
be surprised.
very knowledgeable about the elderly circles of this town, right? Do you know someone who would carry handfuls of bent iron nails in their belongings?
I would. For instance.
You don't count.
Sure.
Yeah, I ask Mr. Saborni if he knows someone who would carry such nails.
The carpenter.
I
The
just,
blacksmith.
I just
Hold
look
on.
at him, and in Elven, I go, ignore this guy.
That's rude, you know.
Do you speak Elven?
Yeah, I do.
Okie dokie.
I mean, he's got the symbol of nobility, but I asked Mr. Nick, I asked Mr. Saborni if he knows someone who would carry nails around.
Nails.
Handfuls of bent nails. Iron nails.
Just kind of looks at them as like
Carpenter, blacksmith.
looks like they've been used. I don't know if they'd be much use to anyone. Probably a blacksmith.
I then in Elven ask him this around and I show him the noble symbol.
Kind of like eyes go wide a little bit, and it's like, you might want to take that to the weaponsmith. He's an elf. He may know more about this token.
Yes, he's also currently building me a bow. So yes, I will go. Put it back in my bag.
Okay. No worries.
The ladder reaches all the way up. Sartlan?
Yep.
Did you have any ideas?
Well, it's broken, so we need to get it back, the end back up there, correct?
Yep.
That would be my job. I can easily
So-
fix it in minutes.
Yes.
Or an hour.
Well, yes, getting it fixed is one thing, but getting it, the end reconnected is another.
Oh,
Crap.
feat of strength. Sartlam and me, we could tilt the ladder and you could stay on top and we could like shove you up there. It'd be great.
What? I thought it was a rope ladder.
Yeah, it is.
You
Yeah,
could
dude, that's not gonna
also
work.
you could also
So-
toss a goblin up there. You know.
Ronan, how high can you jump with your training?
I throw a random exploding potion.
Twice as
I
high.
never said you're a goblin. I said a goblin.
I do it again with the words where.
Ronan, couldn't hear you there.
So
Right, breaking up there.
well, I can only jump twice as high training. Hello?
Okay, now I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Twice as high.
Yeah, well, I'm asking like, high jump is 3 plus your strength modifier normally, so I'm curious what that is for you.
My strength modifier is 9.
Modifier? Or
Modifier,
fail?
sorry, -1. So I can jump negatively. I can jump downwards.
So you can leap 4 feet with your training, and how tall's your character?
So I didn't go that far into him. Just under 6 foot, 5'10", 5'11".
We could shoot a few
We'll
arrows
call it-
and use
with
them
your train-
as...
With your training and your height, we'll call it 10 feet. To
Okay.
start with, I haven't used my jump thing yet today, and I do have a high strength score. Add my height to that, that's another 30 feet. That's half the distance we have to cross. Is any of the rope ladder still hanging down, Nick, or is all of it down here at the ground?
It seems that most of it's all on the ground. All you can see is the sort of hollowed access point that someone would use to come down to the lower levels.
Alright, so my thought is...
If I
could
get on
lift it-
your shoulders, on your shoulders, you jump, and I jump on your feet.
Can I make a quick
Exactly.
suggestion?
I laugh.
But-
and I go right underneath it and shoot a firebolt up through it to symbolize help.
That was my idea as well. Someone can...
You know what I could
Signal,
do? I could
get some
conjure my
attention.
mage hand and just,
Pretty sure it has a
That can
weight
only-
limit.
And that can only get 30 feet away from you.
ah, shit.
Yep.
So, my thought is, does anyone have a grappling hook?
I might
No,
have one.
but I'm sure someone has a iron bar or something to break open things with.
I have a crowbar.
No, that's not guaranteed to work, and we might only have a couple shots at this at most.
Might I make a suggestion while we make a plan? Someone shoot an arrow with a note attached saying we need a rope down here.
That
Maybe
sounds
some-
like a dangerous idea.
Why? Maybe someone will help us out while we try to get...
Well, we don't
Alright.
know where it ends, right?
All right,
Hey.
I think I've got a plan. This will take some finagling, but it should work. Ronan, you get up on my shoulders.
Yep.
Fizzle gets up on your shoulders. I jump up and launch you. You
Uh-huh.
jump off of me and then
Uh-huh.
launch Fizzle, and Fizzle should be able to reach the exit and
I
lower a
regret
rope
that
down to
decision.
us.
I will die a horrible, painful death.
Okay, I
I laugh and go, or all of us can just form a ladder, you get on the top, and then you cast jump and you jump up.
That would crush us.
That's not going, and that's not going to be enough. That'll add like 20 feet at most. I'd still be about 20 feet short.
I
What
do
about
have a
me?
crowbar
I
and
can
some
jump high.
pittons for
I'm
climbing.
strong.
Yes, but even I have my limit to weight, and with your equipment, I'm not sure that I could launch you that way.
Yeah. You know,
I-
we could build like a catapult and launch Fizzle.
Can we not have plans that end up me being launched in a random direction? Thank you.
Well, it wouldn't be
Um.
random. It would be up there, and I point at the.
Yes, 80 feet into the air.
Actually-
That seems pretty random to me.
I have a spell
have-
that slows your fall. It's fine.
Actually, wait. I do have one more thing I can try first. Nick, what are the walls made of leading up to that thing?
We
Just
have a
pure
potion of
stone.
climbing.
Are there
They're kind of slick and like almost like mossy look to them.
are there is it like mortared, or is there noticeable gaps in the stone?
There are several like gaps. I mean,
I look at
a
Zartlan
very
and I'm like,
good roll would probably enable you to climb or scale the wall the majority
Potion
of the way.
climbing?
yeah,
Or I
but
can-
Zartlan has potions of climbing.
Well, that's an easy fix then. He just walks
mean-
with the walks literally will walk up the ceiling with the ladder and tie it up there.
It's potion of climbing, not potion of spider climb. There's a
Ah.
difference.
Mistake. Thought it was spider climb.
So I do have an idea here though. With the potion,
Gives you a
Zartlan's
climbing
going to
speed,
try-
doesn't it?
no, it just gives you advantage on athletics checks in order to.
Oh,
But
okay.
if there's gaps, I have javelins. I can jam them into the gaps and use them to climb my way.
I have extra javelins if you need them.
I shouldn't need more than 2, but with the assistance of the potion of climbing, I should be able to make it up with that. Since nobody wants to try my jumping solution because somebody is a coward and is
I'm up
afraid of
for
a
it.
little.
Yes, I'm afraid of falling 80 feet.
I
That
have
doesn't
a-
make me a coward.
I have a spell that slows your fall. It's fine.
Thank you, but no thank you.
Right, so yeah, I will go ahead and drink one of the potions of climbing and then begin trying to make my way up the wall with a pair of my
Sure.
javelins.
Okay, then that'll
And
be
your ladder.
acrobatics. You will have advantage
Oh,
from the climb.
I assume this is after he's finished fixing the ladder so I can carry it up.
Sure.
Also, I give you, when that happens, I also give you a portion of Swiss step that would increase your movement.
Can I make an Arcana check to see if I know why that's a terrible idea, Nick?
what?
Sure, go ahead.
Why would it be a terrible idea? It just gives you movement speed.
Because mixing potions have
Oh, wait, you're
side
taking
effects.
your climbing potion.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I
you
did
need.
not
Yeah,
understand that part.
this is probably a not good idea in terms of side
I
effects.
did not understand the part about you actually taking the potion. Sorry.
Oh,
I was
the,
just
the idea
climbing.
with the javelins is just to make it so that I can climb up there. The potion gives me advantage on the check.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. I do have some pythons and they use for climbing and stuff.
Fines.
Yeah, if we wanted to use like a rope and do it all professionally.
Don't we want to do that? I mean, wouldn't it be
Nope.
easier?
Zartlan doesn't want him.
Anyway, I was just making a suggestion.
All right, so
How long does
do you
it take
want
to
roll
fix the
that
ladder?
up?
I don't know.
That's actually a good question.
Would you like me to do a tinkering check?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see what I get. Probably a 1.
Uh,
Tinker
yeah, because we
tools.
can take a short rest and then.
Yeah, 19.
Yeah. So, what is it exactly that you're trying to do there?
Fix the ladder so it's more durable.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
you kind of see that there are a few loose ropes
I give you 50
that are like
foot of
holding the
rope
wooden struts
needed
in,
to fix it.
and you kind of tighten the knot a little bit. Some you have to readjust the knot. It takes you about 10, 15, 20 minutes or so to get a decent one. I would say at that level of you planning on how you're going to scale to get out and
Yeah.
you making that, it would class as a short rest.
Oh. Oh,
Not for you because you're the one
yeah.
doing the work, but for
Yep, okay.
those waiting for you to finish your work, most definitely a
Okay.
short rest.
Ah, sweet. I get my action search back.
And
I
second
didn't-
wind.
I didn't actually use anything. I get back on a short rest, but I will roll a hit die, just in case I fall.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
1, 2, 3.
Well,
You
that
did,
only.
you did get your second wind back. So,
Yeah, I did that.
I don't really get anything short. Hey, 10. Wow.
Max followed by minimum for the month.
Well, marginal error of
I'm
50.
already at maximum hit points thanks to the potion. So I'm good. Oh, since I'm not really doing anything this short
Really?
rest, can I repair my armor?
I mean,
Oh.
it's if you have studs, because
Probably.
apart from that, it's a permanent thing until you get proper repair, like a proper repair
Plus,
to it.
you
So
know.
if you have
I know.
spare studding, then yes,
I'll take it to that blacksmith and
sure thing.
or the weaponsmith.
I'm gonna say, don't worry, Roland. I can introduce you to someone who's good with armor work once we get out of here.
Yeah, because
We would probably have to see a healer as well, just in case of any sewage infection bullshit.
Probably a good idea.
well, we want to see someone about the barnacle on him anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, right. You lot have to worry about that kind of.
Yes.
Are you suggesting you're immune to disease?
I mean, he's a
Preci-
warrior, right? Yeah.
Thanks to my training and devotion to my beliefs, yes, such paltry infections have no hold on me.
That sounds useful.
Exceedingly. It wouldn't do for a warrior to be struck down by a common cold while fighting for what they believe.
I do believe we're fine, though. I'm highly surprised that I think that.
How long does
So
that
then
potion
we
last,
get a-
Artlam?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
How long does that potion last that you taken?
I think an hour.
Oh, I was waiting until he finished the ladder to take
Sure.
it, but
Oh, okay.
it lasts for an hour, so.
Okay, wonderful. Good to know.
Well, I work.
I misread it. Apparently, it does give you a climb speed equal to your walking speed, and
Aha.
gives you advantage on strength checks.
See?
Yep.
I thought I got it like.
I thought it gave you a climb speed.
But still, a bad idea to drink multiple potions. There's a risk of. As an alchemist.
But still, he mentioned that the walls are slick, so I'm still going to be using the javelins for better handle.
Yeah.
All right, then.
Before I do start climbing, Zartlam is going to turn to Cavell and ask, "Any words of inspiration?"
Probably a good idea.
Oh, right. Yeah. Let's see.
To climb is to live. If you don't climb out of here, you won't live.
No, that's not a word of inspiration.
Might be in
No?
Yes.
Should pretty inspiring to me.
Go on then.
Remember, this is Sparta!
Nope,
Life.
that's for going down.
Life lived in prosperity is like a cup of cake.
Cup of cake.
A life lived 49 years is passed away in a dream.
I just look at Zartlam and
I do not know what
If you-
climbing
if-
is,
I
nor
say to-
what death is. Year in and year out. What is climbing? What is death?
It's empty.
I say to Zartlam, if he can get up there, attach the ladder, and get us out here in the next 20 minutes, I'll get him 5 meat pies.
Imagine standing in the moonlit dawn.
Sure, you're gonna go get them for him, right?
Yeah,
Alright,
I give
so-
you inspiration.
So yeah,
Hey,
so
he
you
loves
begin
the meat
your
pie,
you
I'm
begin
using that
taking
as
your potion
inspiration.
shortly after Fizzle finishes the final touches to repairing some of the
Right.
broken parts and the loose knots in the rope ladder, and you manage to hoist it and begin your ascension using your potion and your spearheads to climb up the gaps in the wall as you use. And for the rest of you, looking at Zartlam do this, it's almost like an 8-bit game where you kind of like up a bit, left, up, right, right, up, left, and this constant like flowing of motion continues. I do need you to make some throws for me there, Zartlam.
Advantage?
Yeah, of course.
And athletic check,
Yes.
athletics, I assume.
Yep.
Come on.
And how many do you want? Just the one?
I'll have 2.
Oh.
I'm glad I got that inspiration. I'm going to use that right away because that was a terrible roll.
Yup.
15.
Bloody hell.
Better than nothing.
Yeah. 15 is a number.
Yeah. So you kind of get halfway and you embed. You think you've got a good purchase of one of the stones, and as you kind of move,
Wow.
as you kind of move, you feel it like loosen, and you kind of panic and like stab into the other stone, and it doesn't come away. Wow. It doesn't come away, and you kind of then think, okay, and you carry on, and a little bit higher up, the same happens again. This time it jolts, and you think, nah, it didn't come away last time. This time it does, and you swing across, and like you're now holding on one-handed onto one of the pikes you buried into the hole, and you kind of look down, and you see your fellow companions below just like looking at you in awe. You take a while, and you manage to grasp both hands onto one of your spearheads, the other like clambering down to the ground below, and you're just now within reach to be able to. You see these 2 like hook holes that would latch the rest of the ladder, and it's literally just within finger grasping of reach.
You know, it's a good thing I have more than 2 javelins. He will go ahead and pull out another one in order to get him to a better point to reach.
Sure, no worries, go ahead. So you do that, fine.
Is it safe to assume the one I dropped shattered when it hit the ground, though?
I would say, yeah, like it kind of splinters out, and the head of it comes away from the wooden pole.
I'm like, I wonder if I could hit him from here.
Probably.
That's a terrible idea.
Okay,
Zartlam looks down and wonders, I wonder if I fell if I could hit Roland from...
Guess what's gonna hurt more?
But yeah, I'll go ahead and hook in the ladder and put my weight on it to make sure it's secure before gesturing the others.
So moving from your spears to the ladder, go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Uh-oh.
You will have advantage because you're holding on to something and it's within reach, so I'll let you have advantage. It's just whether or not you're really bad at just maneuvering across, then obviously. Yeah, wonderful, fine. Yeah, you managed to climb on, and you work your way up through this sort of access point, and everyone else now has the ability to clamber onto the ladder and maneuver up. And you push against this sort of iron circular sewer like drain head, and you shift it across. There's a very, very, very faint like light hue in this room, and as you climb out the hole and you look around, you're inside a building in like a lower level of like maybe a basement that was built perhaps after the sewage system had already been kind of laid out in Dalmary. And you look around and you see you're surrounded by shelves of books. You would assume you're possibly in some sort of library / bookstore. As the rest of you come up and you find yourselves all now grouped into this room,
1 minute. I will chop the head off this massive lobster monster.
Okay.
Looking
then-
When
around
no one
and
else is looking.
finding such a high-end entrance to that place, Zartlam's going to mutter to those that follow up. Perhaps that last one we fought wasn't there by chance, but rather as a guardian.
Well, I'm gonna start looking at the books and see.
That would be disturbing.
Yeah, anyone that
See
wants
what
to
I
look
find.
and see what kind of books are in
You-
the area, you can most certainly.
Wait. I look for elven smut.
Okay. Well,
Seriously.
either or, anyone that's looking
Probably.
around and wants to investigate about what kind of books there are,
20.
just investigation.
20 for elven smut.
Well, just because you roll high doesn't mean you'll find it. But
Yep.
Yeah.
Most definitely there is none. Wow,
You
it's really
never
shit
know.
issue today.
You're looking for elven smut. You actually
Yep.
find orc smut.
Oh boy.
I'll pocket that.
Yeah. You fizzle. You do come across a book that says. One moment.
Properties of mushrooms.
No.
Since I can
there's a-
read the titles regarding their language,
Yeah,
can I
sure.
get advantage? Something?
No.
Okay.
how
but
to
you-
hybridize fungus with humanoids? Nah, that's not important.
you do see one that's called the Apple of Alden.
Oh. Is that some like the one thing we heard about? Or Elden? Eden? I forget what the name was.
Yeah,
I
the
think that-
apple of Eden. Yeah.
Like I
It's like
believe
the
we're
myth. The tree.
yeah, when we met the tree we found something similar. It was mentioned there.
Yeah, I'd take it. It could be useful.
Oh, I find something super interesting. We need to read this when we have some more time. I said there
So
is-
you're taking it?
Yeah, I would
Go.
like to take it.
Okay, go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check.
What now?
A sleight of hand.
No, I'm taking it and I'm saying that I'm taking it. I'm not
You're
hiding
just literally taking it.
it. Yeah, I just told
Okay.
everyone I found something
Well, hold
interesting.
And you put it in your bag?
Sorry,
why?
DM, hold on. Are we in, or is it just us in this building, or are there other people there?
Hard to tell.
I'm currently just reading my book. I have.
You're currently in what appears to be a very dim lit lower basement
If this
to
is a
this
shop, there
this
is a
shop
magical
of
alarm
sorts.
until.
Well, we're gonna
If-
know shortly.
So
'cause
so
I
as
said
soon
it.
as you fizzle, you take the book and you place it in your satchel. You
Well, I'm
hear
just holding it. I'm not
Okay.
placing it.
Okay.
I'm currently reading the book on orc smut. What
You
language?
you hear I do hope you're looking to pay for those books.
Just
And
out of curiosity,
You
where
see
the
at the
hell
top
are
of this like wooden staircase, this that appears to be the proprietor. You can't quite make out who it is. You just see like this silhouette.
My apologies.
What are
we
you doing
actually-
in my private stash?
Well,
Excuse me, sir. There is an entrance to the sewers that appears to lead up to your abode.
Cavell, remember what we
I
talked
am
about?
aware. It's reason why I got a good price on the
And
rates.
Are you aware there was a rather horrifying monster?
Excuse me.
This is the sewer. There was a mutated,
I'm
ugly
aware
creature.
of the sewers, and I'm aware of the maintenance
aware of
crews
the
that take care of the
Old
sewers.
people going missing as well.
I am aware of elderly people that have been being
Do they
looked
use
for.
your shop to leave and go down into the sewers?
And no one has opened the hatch to the sewers for many years.
Well, we shall be reporting to the town guard. I hope you're planning on living.
We found a makeshift ladder that appears to have been used much more recently. Are you absolutely sure?
Well, the rope ladder that was issued there was detached about a year and a half ago, when I took over ownership of this establishment for a good rate because of the sewer system being within access of our lower basement. It leaves a bit of a stinky smell every now and then,
I
especially
can
in the
cast
summer years.
prestidigitation and make the smell go.
I was about to say, like, Zartlam is just probably coated in stuff right now, so.
I'm like up to my neck, pretty much.
We're very sorry to intrude, but the sewers is quite infested, and the ladder was available.
Yeah, we kind of wanted to get out. Also, yes, we will pay for the book.
What
We should probably go and speak into your actual, shop area. Should we not?
Sure.
I put the book of orc smut back and asked him if he has any book of elven smut.
Kind of as it kind of turns and you can see the light like glisten against his face. You could see the slight pale green tone to his skin, and the very like small turn up tooth of the corner of one of it, like the corner of one side of his
he's an
mouth.
orc.
And he kind of like almost see like this roll of eye as if to say, you didn't see that, and I've got no idea what you're talking about.
I go, don't worry, I didn't find any book. Yes.
Sure. I did find one, and I would like to purchase it. It seems interesting.
Well, you two do your shopping. Cavell, why don't you and I head to the guards and deliver that little present you collected?
Well, I
Yeah.
was thinking of all of us going there, because
There's only one problem. If we haven't solved the case just yet, we just
I'm gonna go report to the weapon. I'll meet you. Where are we gonna meet?
yes. All right, let's go.
I
So-
don't think...
You come out onto the shop floor and you do realise at this stage that you are currently
Sure,
situated
start the
in
party
the Page Turner bookstore.
I start cleaning Zartlam.
Prestidigitation will do it instead.
Yep.
Yeah. So I
I'm
clean
assuming you're just using it on everybody.
They say not instantly. That's 1 square foot at a time.
Yeah.
I'm tiny. Stop with me, please.
There's just like magical rose buds, like rose petals, that is just like starting to clean you as we are entering the shop.
Yep.
Zartlam will just stand there and let it happen while Fizzle does his.
Yes, how much for this book? And I show the man the book.
The Book of Apple of Eden. Personally, it's one of my personal collections, so I'm probably,
so it's not for sale?
for the right price, I'm sure we can come to an arrangement. But it isn't a collector's item. It has some very valuable information and details about past histories and tales, fables of sorts, things that thought were once true of the lands, but many have now believed that it is just nothing but folklore, folk tales.
Well, I failed to see the value in a bunch of... I just thought it was interesting.
It is still very much a collector's item, heavily leather bound, and the details are very particular, and some those believe the tales to be true use these to aid their ways and potentially find out for themselves whether it's true or not.
And if that's the case, why have you not proceeded to do that?
I am a patron of book collecting, not an adventurer or a wandering hero.
Considering it was hidden in your basement, I doubt it's very popular. Oh,
You misconstrue
confused.
the fact that it was stashed in a private collection for it being unvaluable. It's as valuable as I would rather not part with it than have it on my display shelves in store for
I
anyone
look
to
and go.
purchase.
I look at Fizzle and go, no, the book I found is a prize of his collection.
Okay, I don't know what you found.
If it fizzle, imagine a dragon and a hoard of gold. That's a librarian. This is that's a dragon and a gold. This
Very
is
well
a
then.
librarian and books.
Very well then.
Zartlem's going to speak up and say, if the collection down there is so prized to you, it would be such a shame if the guards came traipsing through there in their investigation. If we were
Well-
properly convinced, we might leave out where we exited the sewers when we report to them.
I don't think it's a good idea to withhold that information.
I
I
fail
don't
to see
think
how
it-
it's. I fail
don't
to see
think
how it's.
Well, this
Pertinent,
person
though.
may be involved in kidnapping.
I don't think it's wise to
Go ahead and roll
blackmail
me a
Amber.
intimidation.
I was
Me?
kind of going for the intimidation angle
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
thinking, is
Fizz-
it? as
Everyone
good
else
as
just
that?
ruined
because I am proficient in intimidation, not in persuasion.
No worries.
It's the opposite for me, but
17.
Yeah, you can see this almost like snotty, kind of stuck up, almost like preppy appearance turned to this almost cowering appearance, as if to say, no, perhaps you're right. It would be less hassle having the guards come through here. We wouldn't want them finding anything that has nothing to do with the investigation and distracting them from their means. Perhaps we can come to an arrangement, of course.
And Zartlem will just kind of gesture back to Fizzle.
well,
What would you consider a reasonable amount for this collector's item?
well,
Of course,
considering I find it
such a
just
book,
is
such a book would usually reach far into its hundreds of gold. I'm
Well-
sure we can come to a reasonable price to not have it.
Ronan-
some kind
Ronan
of
pushes
price.
the
This
clock.
is just literature to me because it is just fantasies. All I know right now is that you're telling me it's worth something to the right amount of people. Now, I bet we are the right amount of people. However, I fail to see the value in it. So, what price do you want for it? Tell me if it's worth my time at all and your safety.
Well, usually I would say for such an item of this caliber, around 300 gold.
300 gold for a book of fables? Does anyone think this is a bit overpriced?
I turn to Zartlam and just say, well,
No,
no,
if
I,
anything, it's fairly generous. I've heard about books that are valued to the price of kingdoms.
I turn to Zartlam and just say, no, I think we really should tell them about the system. It's important to their investigation.
It is important, but it's also, we don't want to rob the poor man. At least half the price would to compensate him for his troubles and find something of equal interest too.
He kind of
Place it in his
gulps,
collection.
and you can see the Adam's apple
Can
kind
I,
of move very abruptly as he gulps in at the concept of half the value, but he looks at you all as if to say, "Is that on the table? Is that something we can?"
To be fair, Zartlam did say at least half the value to give him room to haggle, but also making it clear that we expected a severe price drop.
I was like sincerely thinking it was like for a book of fables. I was thinking more like 10 gold. Okay, how did it go up to 300? That's strange.
There
We
are
live in a world
things
of
within the
magic and wonder.
lands that have much more
Again, I am
value
not trying to
to
rip you
one
off.
and
I'm
another.
just trying to get an idea as why would I be able.
Well,
willing
if
to pay that
I
much
was
gold.
to say that the book could easily fetch a value to someone in the right hands of around 300 gold,
If you went to the capital,
then
I could
surely
sell that
you
book
could
500.
make more of a value on that.
When Cavell says that, Zartlam accidentally elbows him as he's cleaning Zartlam's armor.
Ugh.
So,
Let
And
me put
basically,
it to
you're
you
not
does
another
anyone
way.
think
Is
we
there
should
anything...
get this book? Because, I mean, it's an interesting read, but I'm failing to understand its value.
And you have yet to read
Knowledge
the
is
book.
knowledge is power, and
I agree with
fables
that.
are always based in some seed of truth.
Fizzle, you are an intellectual. Clearly,
True.
this book is not for you. Clearly, you are not the intended audience. But I would pay 100 gold for this. He just kind of like clinks down 100 gold.
And
Um,
Zartlan will put down another 60.
Like, I can put down my 10 gold. I mean, that's how much it's... I mean, don't
So
really a big
we're-
deal.
He
Yeah, we're
kind
already at
of like
170, so-
reluctantly picks up and he's like looking around to see if anyone else is like putting any coin purses down. It's like, please, please. And he
I'll
takes
actually
it
Don't worry, we
and he
won't let the gods
slowly moves like the book in your direction.
And
across
I
the table.
say,
Thank you.
and I whisper in his ear, "Don't worry, I won't let the other orcs know where that book."
Kind of looks
So-
shifty.
And I whisper
And,
for the right price. I won't let orcs know
Oh,
where that book
no.
is.
And Zartlan will also go ahead and drop down another 5 gold and say, I'm sure that we didn't completely clean up our mess, so there's a slight apology in regards to that. Separate.
I must say, today has turned out to be quite interesting. Not only is it interesting that you've managed to come out of the sewers that were below, but you're the second of your kind I've seen today.
The second?
And
Oh, damn.
where did you see the other one?
He purchased a book. I think it was more about the lay of the lands, trying to establish more of a direction, a pattern, or a route to take to his next destination. He said he was looking for something or someone of importance.
Did he
Didn't
happen to
leave much
mention the
detail.
destination?
Not off the top of my head, but he did say something about Best Day Dungeon.
Sorry, what was that?
He did mention something about Best Day Dungeon.
Good to know, thank you.
We start walking out, I guess. Is it me
Okay.
or this person seem
So,
to
By
like...
the way,
What?
Yeah.
By the way, we rehooked up the rope ladder when we exited. You may want to consider if you want to leave it like that or not, just as a warning, so that you don't get any more unexpected visits.
I would also suggest a permanent seal.
That's good to know. Thank you.
Good sir, what is your name? I have completely forgotten my manners.
Well,
Probably on the front of the store.
many just call me David, although my birth name was Dathrikian.
Complicated.
Dathrikian. That is an interesting name. My good sir, thank you for doing business. We are the Legion, and we do services to all kinds of people, including tiny elf girls who need to find their grandfather. This is Charlie Solborni. He is a citizen of this town.
I believe we should still report to the town guard.
You kind of
Big
see
guy,
his
big
hand
man.
almost like off to the side, almost like wave awkwardly.
I'm like, well, you guys go report to the guard. I'll return this guy to his granddaughter. And
No, he's a witness. We need to take him to the...
Yeah, we need to take him to the guards. Like,
all right,
no.
well, you guys do that. I'm gonna go to the weapons and get more information.
We apologize for the unexpected intrusion, David, and we will get out of your hair.
Pleasure, thank you.
I'll sure we'll see you sometime in the future, David.
Well, so bookstore is always valuable. We have the time, we shall visit again. Hopefully we can strike a good deal again.
As you leave and he shuts the door, you can hear the door lock, and like the open sign turns round. He turns round, and on the other side it says "Gone drinking."
It says leaving for Leoness.
No, it just says "Gone drinking."
Be back in tomorrow.
You just got over 170
For
gold.
a book.
For a book that's worth like 500.
Well,
So he says.
to be fair, it could have he probably did jack up the price a little bit, but I still think he didn't get a terrible deal.
Same as well. Same as well. I think that was well.
I head to the weaponsmith.
Okay, so
I still
you
do
go back
believe we
into
should
the battered
report
blades.
first.
And,
Unless you plan on leaving your armor there, because fix.
as you enter the store, the same half-elven owner looks at you and says, sorry, it's not ready yet. We did say a few days.
I know. I came here for something else. Information. Yes. What's that name? What was the name of it?
Charlie Salborni.
Oh, we found Charlie Shelburne.
Mm-hmm.
He is safe now, and he told me that you might know more information about this as I show him the symbol.
And says, where did you find this?
On a crab-like monster that used to be a person, I think, in the sewers.
The symbol is of my family.
Who now?
I haven't seen this in
Family.
years. Yes, of my family. This is a tremendous find. You say you found it on a what?
On a mutated crab monster in the sewer.
A dead
that
thing.
used to be a person.
There hasn't been any of my family members in the local area for a millennia, and you found this. This is a symbol of nobility. This could get back lands from our family that have been taken years ago. We could reclaim. We could.
No, you're not. You guys are reporting.
We could reclaim and build our family name up again.
The extortion begins.
This has. I don't even have words. This is. And he kind of holds it to his chest and is like, "Thank you. Perhaps I need to show you something." And he kind of beckons you to a back room.
Uh-huh.
He closed the door behind you, and he reveals. Hold on, let me find the thing that I'm trying to get. You say you are a user of the bow. Is this right?
A user of the bow, yes.
I
pull off my hood and show my elf.
I have something of great power that was handed to me, but I mean, many years have passed and it doesn't really hold much standing for the uses I would need it, or it would be intended for. I mean, this item may reject you as its owner, but if it doesn't, then this may give you a great advantage on a battlefield. And he opens his case, and inside is an ebony wooden curvature bow.
Does it look familiar to me?
No. It is extremely ornate. It has silver tipped ends that sort of feather out in like a glorious display. The notch of where the arrowhead would sit is tipped, and it has 3 or 4 like notches on where arrowheads would sit, and it glows and kind of floats in this space. He says the arrow is known as Gotha. It is an extremely rare and powerful weapon with time and training. To start off with, it would give you a good advantage on the battlefield, your attacks would be better than what you've asked me to requisition you to make you. It would also grow with abilities over time, but of course it would have to accept you as its owner.
I say thank you for this honor, and I go to try and touch it. And I say its name as I go to touch it.
It crackles a little bit, and you feel the warmth draw your hand in, and it allows you to pick it up.
I lift it above my head and go, "You are my weapon of choice. You are the only weapon I shall use. Your name will be legendary."
Okay.
As I'm with a big grin on my face.
Wonderful.
Is it a longbow?
It is a replacement of your current bow, so it would stand as the weapon stats. I'll have to message you because I've not had time to go through and depict everything for 5e like changeovers, but there's a handful of things it can do. So so I'll have to post that to you.
I don't plan on using it until after.
No,
I get
you won't be in combat for the rest of the session, so that's fine.
Yeah.
So you now have the arrow, the bow known as Gotha.
I probably won't need the other longbow now, but
as you tug on the arrow on the string, a very bright light flashes and an arrow sits on one of the notches.
Nice. It makes its own arrows.
Yes, it's one of its benefits. But they can't be used with any other bow. As soon as they leave the string and hit the intended target, the damage is done and the arrow dissipates.
I take my short bow off my back and I hand it to him.
Please, you may be able to find someone that may need that. It kind of beckons his hand back because it's not quite the quality you would expect to sell in this store.
I look at the shopkeeper and go, "Well, I was thinking you could find someone like this."
Well, I think given the new information and the family crest token that you'll return to me,
your family land back.
I think that I may have to close the store for a while and go on my own adventure and try and reclaim land that was lost to my family.
Yes. That is a noble goal.
Wait, he's going on an adventure. That's fun.
Did you pay money for the bow?
No, I got that bow for free for giving him his family something.
The other one that you commissioned.
Oh, I let him keep that money for that bow as a...
Yeah, you might want a receipt that just says, this bow is just a normal bow, signed by weapons.
Yes. I will get him to say this is a regular bow. Sign it.
Okay, so you leave the store and you go back to your...
Not before I got a receipt stating this is a normal everyday
Sure
bow.
thing. You get that for the bow that you have.
Yeah, because you commissioned one, right? So it's
yeah.
Oh, you already got one.
Exactly.
The other one, hold on. So
I then meet the others at the
so you try and catch up, and as you do so, where are the rest of you heading?
Guard station.
So you go to...
Isn't it like in the middle of the night?
No, by this point it's very very early day. No, it's not quite afternoon because you did go down there while it was dark. So you've been down in the sewers for a good few hours, to the point where it's now, if you was to put a daytime time on it, it's probably about 9-10 o'clock.
Okay.
So I mean, you're feeling very tired, but it's businesses are open and so on and so forth. So yeah, so you head towards the guard areas. You do see the female half orc captain.
Oh, a half-orc captain.
As we're getting there, can I ask everyone a question now? Should we report now or investigate our other lead with?
We haven't finished our investigations yet, but we have a witness and we have some.
So we have progress, but
Yes,
nothing
we are
concrete.
just reporting our progress. We are
Very
not
well.
making any accusations or arrests yet.
Very well. Because that
There's-
sounds more reasonable.
There's a clear and present threat to the
Well-being of people.
order in this town that's brewing beneath it.
Very
It's
well.
our duty to report it as such to the proper authorities.
Yes.
Also concerns me.
While our investigation for the missing people is still ongoing, informing them of the threat of monsters beneath the city is a separate issue.
Indeed.
Well, of all the things, the slimes are there, but was there like a scheduled release for clearance? Did someone authorize that? What happened? Were we?
The slimes are one thing. I'm referring to the fungal creatures.
I'm
Yes.
Gelatinous cubes, they're most likely an intended part of the sewer system. The rest of them,
But my question is, did we get unlucky with the amount that were sent out, or someone released them knowing with? It's my concern.
What
I
do you
hope
mean,
it's just.
unleash them?
well,
Well,
if that will
We
be
didn't
something we can
inform
ask the guards.
anyone.
Well,
Yeah.
that is something we can ask the guards while we're there to find out if we just had bad timing.
that was my idea as well. Like, we need the information just in case.
Either way, we need to speak with the guards. So let's go.
Just forming questions as we're walking towards them.
So she sees you approaching. She stands up from her cut off tree stump as like a rest area, and she stands up. It's like, the troublemakers.
Yes,
Hello?
Captain. We have news and.
Zartlem's just going to turn to the other two and ask, troublemakers?
Have no fear, Zartlem. This is a separate issue.
What news do you bring?
Separate.
Well, we ventured into the sewers following a lead.
I wondered what that smell was.
I cast prestidigitation to make the smell go away.
She kind of chuckles to herself.
Well, most importantly, we found one of the missing people.
Yes, this is Charlie Salbordi, tiny elf girl Tiffany's grandfather.
You may
put out a notice for his missing, and I give her the note. Well, I put the note on Charlie Salborni and I push him towards her.
Kind of looks and's like, Charlie, I think perhaps you need to find the rest of your family and let them know you're safe. And you see him kind of like cower nod kind of thing, and he looks at you all and sort of says, thank you once again, and then just drifts away.
Just so, make a suggestion, Captain. It might be wise to have him checked out. He was in the sewers in quite a predicament. He might have contracted some kind of weird disease.
And she sort of shouts off into the distance at Charlie. It's like, don't forget to go and see the doctor. Make sure that you're healthy. I'm sure Dr. Dana would be more than pleased to see you. I also do need another Constitution saving throw from Ronin at this stage, by the way.
Unrelated
have-
to the save. Unrelated to the save. Can I do an insight check on her since she seems awfully eager to get the witness away from?
Yeah, sure.
Like instead of
Could be.
locking him up and questioning him as normal guards do.
It could be perfectly innocent concern for his well-being, but as a lawful evil character, someone who's not following procedure, or what should be in his eyes procedure, seems suspicious.
Yeah, go ahead.
That is absolute. That's
But that
not
is a
true.
nat one, so this makes
God
perfect
damn it!
sense.
Nope.
It's the most normal thing ever.
So
It's not like some old man is going to be useful anyway.
nope.
it's a strange conundrum that we find ourselves. We followed a trail of mushroomy bits that were glowing. I'm sure you've had
I
reports.
present Exhibit A.
I mean, it's a sewer. Surely mushrooms grow in sewers, do they not?
Well, the problem we find ourselves in is, and I sort of take out the bag, the what's it called?
The fast food stuff with the the leftover eat.
Oh, the logo on the
Food.
box says it's from the Red Crab Shack.
Yes, exactly. And I present the
Exhibit B.
Exhibit B, the head of the crab monster.
That's
Good
a whole
God,
different
man!
story, though.
What? Oh, that's stench. Oh,
Yes. As you can see, the monster is carrying a sort of clammy, fishy smell, as well as the exhibiting certain.
That's probably just a coincidence.
looks closer at the face and is like,
There's also the fact that
I
several
know
of
this
the
man.
there's
What?
also the fact that several of the fungoid creatures we fought had strangely fishy smells as well, which you would not expect from such beings.
Did I just hear what the captain said?
Yeah, she said, I know this man.
That
We
is
were
very interesting.
concerned.
How? And sorry, fungus. Like,
Yes.
are you suggesting that something is turning these people into these creatures?
I'm not suggesting that at all. That's precisely what we're telling you.
That's our current speculation.
Every
found-
mushroom thing we found exhibited human features.
True.
And we found that old, gesturing back towards the retreating old man, we found him inside a fungoid pod of some.
Good God.
Also, there were several others that were empty.
That does not bode well. I will
And
get
even
some
worse.
men to send them
We
into
s-
the sewers to see if we can clear out. And you say that this crab shack is responsible.
We don't know, but we think.
We know that someone is or something is transforming the missing people into monstrosities. We suspect that the shack is involved, but are not certain on that.
That is our next destination. We were hoping for some
We are
official
yes,
backup.
yes. We are hoping
Please,
to
if
sample some of their foods.
No.
if I could rely on you to do the investigation, that would free up some time our end. We wouldn't want to make a commotion from the guard's perspective and have
Okay.
everyone kick up more of a commotion than they already do regarding the city guard and the holy knights.
Yes,
Very well.
yes, you're absolutely right. Also, Dr. Dana, we might want to see her just in case.
Dr. Dana is a male, rather large gentleman. He's hard to miss, but I'm sure him and his daughter will be able to assist in ailing anything that may be causing you any aggravation.
We should probably
Also,
take a look.
if you
Just let me know when I catch
If-
you.
if you're sending your men into the sewers, I'm sure you're aware of the creatures down there specifically for the purpose of waste
Clearing.
removal.
Oh,
But we did
indeed.
have some. We did not consider their presence when we went down. So, just from experience, make sure they're aware of the schedule of such creatures before they go down.
We have a particular individual that is quite inept at controlling these beasts, so that shouldn't be a problem. But thank you for the heads up.
No problems. We'll report back when we find anything new.
Thank you. And she kind of walks over to two of the guards that are kind of discussing like their rota with each other, and she's like, you can see, you can't really hear or hear what she's saying, but you can see that there's definitely a forceful insurance of like this needs to be done, make sure it's done kind of vibe.
Everyone's just like, oh, not the sewer.
Hold on, I got
Okay.
it back.
So, anyone else doing anything else in the town before we move on?
Just meeting back up with Roland before we find somewhere to rest. I think.
Sure, no worries. So you gradually, as time goes by, you kind of wander through the streets of Dalamari again.
We can
kind
just
of
rest in the temple, but we need to get ourselves checked out for diseases.
Yeah. With your Constitution saving throw, Ronin.
Yep.
You feel a very sudden sweat and like feverish sensation. Your body, you sort of touch the skin of your body, and it's almost scalding hot, but yet your body shivers as if it was cold, and you just become a bit delirious in your surroundings. You kind of shiver and you shake. You are definitely unwell.
Is this obvious to the rest of us?
Go ahead and roll a perception.
Woo!
I thought monks were immune to disease.
Yeah,
Only
no.
one. I think once they reach a certain level, but not at this
Level
level.
10.
9.
I think it's actually level 20.
It's not outright obvious at this stage.
So we don't know what's happening.
It's level 10 that monks get that.
Yeah. I think I would mention to everyone that I don't feel.
Okay.
Oh, well, that makes it easy then.
Yeah.
Destination doctor.
Okay.
I don't see why we need to bother with that, as Zartlam will reach over and grab Ronan by the shoulder, and I will pump 5 points of lay on hands into him, not to heal him, but to remove it.
Huh.
Poison or disease, yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
I saved 5 points for specifically that reason.
Thank you.
That is, if that helps.
If it works, but I will attempt to do so.
Mhm.
And I will go ahead and paste the lay on hands ability, just in case you need to read the detail. I can actually cure multiple diseases or neutralize multiple poisons with a single use of lay on hands this way, so... Oh, but I have to expend hit points separately. So yeah, I would only be able to remove one disease, but I will attempt to do so based on him complaining.
Yeah. The chill from the fever goes away. Everything else, like the sweat, is still there.
Or something additional.
Okay. Would like a healing potion get rid of the diseases and stuff like that?
No.
No.
Normal
No.
healing potions don't do.
There are specific spells that get rid of disease. Lay on hands is the only thing that normally heals that can be used that way.
Lesser restoration would be another thing, but
As
But
you
there are
as
no
you said,
clerics
guys,
in the party.
You do have a doctor in the town.
Yeah, there's
Specializes
a doctor in
this.
town. So
that's where we're heading.
Okay.
we'll.
I probably meet back up with them at some point.
Yeah.
Sure.
We'll
And
have
Joe.
to take a long rest.
I say, guys, if you guys want to get any new weapons, I would recommend going today. I don't think it's going to be open tomorrow.
Not a weapon person, so nothing.
I would need magical weapons to improve. I don't have the money for a plate, so.
We're good.
So,
Do we want to call it there for today? It seems like a good stopping spot.
Yeah, that seemed fine for me.
Heading towards the doctor.
Yep, that sounds great.
Good.
And I got a new magic bow. Ooh, ooh.
Yeah, as I say, it might take me a while to try and retranslate that into 5e, but I kind of, in my mind, I know kind of what it's meant to do. It's just how I make that work, like, for you.